Marcus.
Hey.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. But how about me, boy? Okay. Leroy Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still to the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a mold, and no proof. I always wanted him, I never hated him, I never traded him, and if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what? What is a star? Like under the city, the driver's side fly. Gucci get large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as can be. You can watch on YouTube with me for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, what they gonna do next?
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Those Oilers really thought they had us last night, dude. They really thought they had us last night. Idiots. Oh, they don't even have Barkov. We're going to get this one. Never saw it coming, dude. Never saw it coming.
Neither did I.
What a comeback yesterday by the Cats.
Like, the thing that makes them so exciting, they have literally won every type of game. A 2-1 filthy, a shootout.
2-1 filthy.
I mean,
Filthy.
it's fun to watch, but that is the sign of a Stanley Cup champion.
Yep.
No matter what kind of game you're going to play, we can play it better.
They did. You know what Edmonton pulled last night? They pulled a Boston because they had that game completely in their grasp. Hyman goes for the hat trick. Bob stones him early on in the third period. And then these idiots just in the middle of the ice. What do? Do they care about hockey? No, they want to fight. They start fighting the Panthers. They lose sight. Panthers tie the game. Idiots. Like in their head, the same thing. And you knew that was going to be the case. You knew they were going to walk in there and they wanted to get some get back because there were a few wins because of how that went last year. And they lost sight of it. And then what did Rhino do? After that, gets in the lead, bangs a puck right off of Skinner's head. That was crazy. That's got to be a really bad feeling as a goalie.
I mean, yeah, I would imagine any puck that bounces off of somebody on your own team and goes in, or yourself. But he didn't see it, I guess.
No, dude, it was he. I don't know how Rhino did it. I don't know how he did that.
I saw like last year during the Stanley Cup when they went to overtime one time, and I forgot who it was, shot a shot from the side, and it was like this much room.
Crazy.
Right. Like some of the shots these guys make, and it makes me think, well, you know, they shoot enough pucks that I think they're just shooting it on net and hoping for the best.
Yeah, for sure. Putting pucks on net is a big part of it. Just getting into action. And then
I used to hate that with the Panthers, the old days. Like they used to just skate around. Nobody would shoot it. And then go the other way. You have, you have it in your zone for 2-3 minutes and nobody took a shot.
Crazy, man. And I got to tell you, it sounds like the Panthers are all getting sick because I was listening to Paul Maurice in the game afterwards yesterday because he said Barkey was sick, missed the game. He said a bunch of guys played sick. And then I was listening to Paul Maurice. I'm like, he kind of sounds sick. So
Filthy.
This is, I guess, what happens when you go through Canada in the middle of the ice cold winter.
By the way,
let
me just squash that real quick.
What's that, dude?
The cold does not cause you to get sick.
Oh, of course it does. What are you talking about?
No, it doesn't.
Oh, of course it does. What are you talking about? Sniffles go through the roof, dude.
It's not the cold.
That's science. No, dude, let me tell you something.
Okay,
when it gets to like 65 here,
I want you to go look at the facts. It is not the cold.
I don't have to look at the facts. I've lived life.
Okay. So science doesn't matter.
I mean, Marcos,
I'm telling you.
When it's a little chilly in the building,
does not cause the flu.
Silly. You're a silly man.
Oh my goodness.
I'm sorry.
Pull it up, Marcos.
I'm looking at it now. It says germs move slower in the cold, so it totally makes you sick. This is on
no.
Yep, that's what it says.
When you catch a cold, it's not because of the cold.
Then why do they call it the cold? Why don't they call it the hot, Leroy? Oh, I got a hot right now.
I am literally
I mean, it's so stupid.
You
I
know
can't
what?
even. I don't even want to like.
You know what I feel like right now? What's that cartoon with the guy standing in front of the in the front yard drinking a beer, and the one guy you can't understand?
Hank Hill.
Yeah,
Boomhauer?
that's it. That's it. I'm dealing with his friends.
I got that tape.
Oh my
The cold widow there, man.
Oh, wait, hold on. And to follow up with some dumb crap, here it comes. If cold doesn't get you sick, why don't people in Miami get frostbite? Frostbite isn't sick, dude.
I think
frostbite ain't the flu.
You're way wrong on this, dude.
Oh,
I don't really have time to argue this because the Cats won.
By the way, I just want you guys to know who are listening to us and watching us right now. If you want to understand why I get so upset, what I just told you is an absolute fact. But because I am dealing with some knuckleheads that they don't even understand how, like, no, because, oh my goodness.
You're so silly.
Okay. The fact that you said germs travel slower doesn't mean the cold causes those germs. It's the germs that cause the flu.
Anybody knows when you go into colder temperatures, it's tougher on your nosy posy. You get the sniffles.
That is right.
It brings down your walls of defense. It's the first line of defense.
How
what are you talking about?
Come on.
Have you lived life?
It's like, oh my God, my nose is stuffy. I have a warm. You see, no one says that, right? No one ever. They're like, I have a cold. Why do they say that, Leroy?
Yeah, but you want to know what was spreading last night?
What was that?
A pandemic, dude. Anyway, headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. At Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory like the Tucson, the Sonata, and the Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Panthers did win 6-5 yesterday. Nico Mikkola, Sam Reinhart, and Carter Verhaeghe scored in the third period. Monday Night Football last night, we had a double dip. The Vikings defeated the Bears 30-12.
Why are we sleeping on the Vikings?
Are people sleeping on the Vikings?
Yeah, like they just been do because everybody's been talking about the Eagles. Everybody's been talking about Detroit. I mean, the Vikings could win the division.
They could win the division,
and we're not even like when you mention the top teams in the NFC. When do you think of the Vikings? You see what I'm saying? You don't even say their name. Fourth? Because everybody mentions Green Bay before they even mention Vikings without even considering that the Vikings are one game behind the number one seed.
You know why, dude.
Why?
You know why.
No, I don't.
Sam Darnold, dude. Nobody believes in that guy in the playoffs. Come on, man. That's what it's going to be.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay.
But they are a good team. Did you see them?
Is it when you see Sam Darnold play, do you think of, man, the Jets really ruined his career?
I just think Jets.
See, you think Jets. You don't think Sam Darnold.
Well, now I think Jets just because you got him and you have Geno Smith. And I'm sure Zach Wilson at one point will light it up too.
Right.
I mean, never, if you want to buy stock in somebody, buy it in Zach Wilson, see wherever he lands.
Yep.
You know?
It might take a couple of stops though, because it's and the things have to work out, because keep in mind, if JJ McCarthy was healthy, Sam Darnold would never be playing quarterback.
D Sizzle says if you say nosy posy, should be an automatic -1.
It should.
I don't agree.
For a grown ass man, you can only say nosy posy if you're under 5.
For show ponies.
Right. Can we agree on that? If you're talking,
I don't agree with that.
Really?
Don't agree with that.
So we doing an adult grown ass man show.
Can't say that if you're over 5.
Ring around the rosy.
Nosy posy, toesy woesies, off limits if you're over 5.
Yeah. Or you're trying to, or if you're trying to, if your kid's really hurt, then you can kind of put a little cutesy name on it to calm down the pain. Yeah. Right. Exactly. But on the show with other grown men, no, dude, what's wrong with you?
Show poniness.
But what do you expect from a guy who has a dog named Sonny Buddy?
Don't bring Sonny Buddy into this.
What do you expect?
Bring Sonny Buddy into this.
What do you expect?
Questionable dog name.
Yes.
What do you mean it's a questionable dog
Nothing
name?
says
Nothing
nothing says I'm not a manly man. Hey, what's the name of that dog that eats iguanas? Sunny Bunny.
I mean, that's what she is, though, dude. She's my little sunny bunny.
Is there like a last name, or is this like
No.
say every time? Like, is she like Sunny Bunny Johnson, or is it just like
No, she mean Sunny is her name, but I call her my little sunny bunny.
Oh, okay, all right.
Well, listen, if you only use the first name, it's even worse.
Why?
Who names a big ass dog Sunny?
She's not that big.
And it's a girl. Sunny's a boy name.
No, dude, that's not true.
Oh, that's a boy's name.
If
It's a boy name.
if it's
It's
S,
son.
no,
Wait.
no.
Wait.
If it's
Sunny and
S-O,
Cher was a man and a woman.
no, if it's SONNY, it's
Yeah.
hey, son, yeah. But Sunny is like, Sunny, you know.
Yeah.
You're not helping your
And the
cause.
thing
You're
was,
not helping
I
your
can tell you
cause,
why.
buddy.
Well, here's the thing. She's a pandemic puppy, and I didn't. My family just surprised me. They didn't even tell me they were getting a dog.
Oh, that's
but-
how I got 4 of them. So there you go.
And I think my daughter wanted to name her like Rosie or something like that, and my son's like, too girly.
Oh, so you went with Sunny? Wait, Rosie would have been better than Sunny.
No. Wrong.
Yes.
There's nothing better than she's so sunny. You know, she came on a little car ride this morning, taking the kids to school. You know, everybody loves Sunny. She did try to jump out and help me bring. My wife forgot her lunch, so I was bringing her lunch. And I'm like, you can't come to the school, dude. So, anyway, did you see last night the Vikings honoring Randy Moss yesterday? I saw Justin Jefferson screaming in the camera for him. They had them bring his jersey out.
Yeah.
Randy's in a battle with cancer right now. I know, you were teammates with Randy. Have you heard from anybody on him? You think he's going to be okay?
It's kind of one of those things where, like, the treatment, you don't necessarily know what the treatment is, and you don't know like the different levels of it until he says something. Because there's so many different stages and levels of cancer.
Yep.
So, soon as somebody says cancer, you think of the worst. So I don't necessarily want to speculate because I don't know what type of cancer. And until you know and know what stage it is, then you don't know how serious the battle is, even though all cancer is serious. So I try not to like.
Yeah, I think he announced last week that he had surgery, that he went through surgery already on it. And it was something like either between his like liver and like ducts
So he must have like a tumor or something.
Yeah, that they found something. And everybody was,
if they could pull the tumor out and it didn't spread, but we don't know.
yeah, you don't know. And then, I could tell
you got to do chemo, and then you got to get retested.
Yep.
So and Tobin will tell you better than I can. Chemo is basically cooking your body from the inside out.
He said last week, he says he still has to go through some chemo and radiation, but they did a great job, I guess, on the surgery. They found a mass between his pancreas and liver. He told his followers he required multiple surgeries to try and remedy the situation. He's confident that he's going to be 100% back. But obviously, he's still got like that. I can tell you, man.
He has to do chemo and radiation.
Yeah, my wife didn't have to do radiation.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So, like that, like the treatment is kind of one of the things that kind of lead you to how maybe serious it is. And again, I'm not sure because I'm not.
I can only speak from my wife's experience. Like the painfulness of the surgery and recovery, it's like probably I'm sure like a lot of surgery, but like that was brutal pain. And then like you get time to recover on that, and then with the chemo. Yeah, it depends. I mean, honestly, how they can dose you high, they can dose you. I know with my wife, they were very aggressive with it, and so like it zapped her. But they do wonderful jobs at these cancer centers, man. I mean, they really, really do. Like you said, based on whatever stage he's at. But obviously, he's a beloved guy. It seems like he's going to use this as a great platform for something right now. He's already trying to do some things on social media with it. They brought out his jersey to midfield yesterday. It looked like Chris Carter was one of the guys. I don't know who the other guy was who brought it out. Oh, Jake Reed.
Oh, Chris and Jake. Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh, yeah. We were all, Randy, Chris, Jake, Matthew Hatchett was another receiver. We had Chris. He was a special teams guy. Who else did we have? That room was packed. Well, and when I say packed, I mean we had 3 guys that were amazing. I mean, think about this. Chris Carter was a Hall of Famer, and Randy was getting the ball all the time, right? So his rookie year. So yeah.
The other game last night, the Falcons beat the Raiders 15-9. I didn't watch any of them. Oof.
Oh my God. I had to go find the Vikings game. And the only reason why I stayed on the Vikings game is because there was some scoring.
Mm-hmm.
But that quarterback for the Raiders, oh my goodness.
Still Aiden O'Connell?
Yeah, he was. No, wait. I think they.
Oh, Desmond Ridder last night.
Yeah. But the problem, like, when I see stuff like this, I'm like, people think when your guy struggles that you can just go get another one.
Hey.
And I would say if I take right now and do a draft of just NFL starting quarterbacks,
mm-hmm.
where do you think Tua would end up? Between 10 and 20?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah,
so if he ends up between 10 and 20, there's 32 teams, right? Where are you going to find another starting quarterback? You just make the assumption they're everywhere. They're not running backs.
Kirk Cousins threw his first touchdown since November 4th yesterday.
And he's still the starter. So, like, for everybody who says Tua's not the guy or Tua can't do this or Tua, I want you to go and make a list of the top 32 teams or the starting quarterbacks on 32 teams. Keep in mind, some have started 2 and 3 quarterbacks because they can't figure out on their own roster who the damn starting quarterback is.
Are we doing a little where does Tua rank in the league today, huh?
No, we're not. I'm doing that to make a point that if you say Tua isn't the guy and you say he's ranked between 10 and 20, then you're also saying there's 15 to 17 guys that also aren't the guy. And if that's the case, where you just gonna find another quarterback? Like you have to be, reality has to come in at some point. Yeah, maybe Tua isn't Josh Allen. Maybe Tua isn't Lamar Jackson.
I don't think anybody's Josh Allen this year.
But guess what? They all have the same amount of championships.
For now.
Well, okay, for now. For now. Again. For now. What year is this for Josh Allen? 7, 8?
Feels like 6, 7, yeah, something like that.
No, it's probably 7 or 8.
Man,
he's been a quarterback for 7 or 8 years. They haven't won now. He's really good, but you still he can't. Is he good enough to win a championship? You're saying that because of what you see now? Because remember when he first got in the league, wasn't.
Yeah, definitely wasn't. But
Josh Allen was drafted in 2018, so this is his
7th season.
7th season. Right. You see what I mean? Like, I get the impatience with everybody. I understand that. I understand why you see other guys with different skill sets and you say, our guy can't do that. I understand that.
But even with Josh Allen, I'm no person who wants to give that dude or that team any praise. But a lot of people, the training wheels are kind of off from him in that, this is a guy who said, well, his success is because of Stephon Diggs. Well,
right.
Name the Bills receivers. It's Keon Coleman, a rookie, and it's a TikToker, Mac Hollins.
No, who's the
Oh, and they got Shakir.
Shakir, yeah. He might be their number 1 receiver, right?
But got Amari Cooper, but he's done nothing.
He just got there.
Yeah, he hasn't done much.
Josh Allen this year is 25-5 on touchdown interceptions. He's been a monster. No, that's just passing.
He's having one of those years. Like When you look at one of those years, I'm talking about a year where you only put guys like Michael Vick and Lamar Jackson.
But like, I wonder if you were to look at is the gulf between Josh Allen and the second best quarterback in the AFCs, is that the biggest gulf in the league right now? Because right now I would say Josh Allen's the best quarterback in the league this year. Playing this year.
Here's the problem, is because when you look at other divisions, they're all so up and down, and because Josh Allen has been MVP caliber all year, then yes, the distance between the two is going to be different. But what if I say this is, I mean, I would say the best quarterback in AFC North is Joe Burrow.
No, Lamar's better than him.
No, dude, I'm telling you, they are losing. That's why you're saying that.
Lamar's better than Burrow.
Go look at Joe Burrow's numbers. Just
care.
because he doesn't run. Go look at him. You say you don't have to.
I don't have to look at the numbers.
Now they don't matter.
Even if they are, they're close. That's kind of my point.
No, but they're two different kind of quarterbacks. If right now, if you're building a team, you're building a team with Joe Burrow, even though Lamar Jackson has 2 MVPs.
Not my team.
Lamar's numbers are better.
Are they? Go.
34 touchdowns for Lamar Jackson to 3 interceptions. Joe Burrow has 36 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. And rating, Lamar Jackson has a 120.7. Joe Burrow is 107.1. And then yards, Joe Burrow has more yards, 3,977. Lamar Jackson has 3,580, but a lot more rushing yards.
A lot more rushing yards. Again,
having a good season.
No, I'm not. See,
I didn't know you hated Lamar Jackson.
No, I'm not. Just all right.
No, we got to take a commercial break. We're way over. We'll take a break. Back with more to this. Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. I hate you, Marcos. I just saw your stupid. I saw your stupid chat.
Pretty good.
We were just saying who has the biggest gulf in quarterbacks in each division, because we were asking, do the Dolphins have the biggest gap in quarterbacking from Josh Allen to Tua? And then I kind of looked at it. I'm like, the biggest gulf actually might be Baker Mayfield, because you look at Baker with Kirk Cousins, Bryce Young, and then whoever the hell the Saints throw out there. And then Marcos just responds, go ahead.
The biggest gulf in Mexico.
I hate you.
I didn't know what that meant. Really, when you guys said it initially,
technically, the Gulf is not in Mexico.
It's of.
It's around Mexico. Gulf
No,
of Mexico.
It's of
Yeah.
Mexico.
Of Mexico. It's Mexican though.
No.
Okay, if that Gulf had to be anything, it's
Do they get to claim all of it? You're giving him a point, J Fig? You're so sick. Oh, this is ridiculous.
Love that.
Even though the Gulf of Mexico is not Mexico?
It's okay, but it's Mexican for sure. Come on. What are you? What? It's from Louisiana? Come on. Can't be from everyone can't be from Louisiana, Leroy.
No, there's not very many from Louisiana. And you know them when you see them.
Yeah. Still don't know who their quarterback is.
No, me either.
The Saints quarterback? Well, it was Derek Carr, but then they put in Rattler. Who the hell is the guy
they put in the other guy, the tight end / Mr. Do everything. Yeah, but he tore his knee. Yep. Which reminds me, remember I told you Montgomery when they say the sprain? Every sprain is a level tear.
Yeah, he's done for the year.
So he's having surgery. So they put that out there, like instead of saying he has a torn ACL or whatever, oh, he has a sprain. But what they do is different sprains have degrees of sprain, and that's just the level tear. So when you hear, oh, he just sprained his knee, it means he has a tear. Don't be fooled by the silliness and the words. Don't be fooled by it. Every sprain, unless it's just if they say, oh, he just has a mild sprain, they might not even call it a sprain. But every level of sprain in a knee is some type of tear.
Got a Jake Hayner on the Rams.
Remember Ryan Tannehill when they said, oh, he just has a sprained knee. We're trying to determine if he needs surgery.
Yes.
That it was a tear.
Mm-hmm.
And then he ended up tearing it.
Yeah. Tell you who's on the tear right now is the Bears. They're tearing it down. 8 straight losses.
Oh man.
Let me tell you something.
That's
like,
great.
Hey, how about ruining a quarterback? Like you want him to sit in the pocket and do Caleb Williams things. He ain't got time to do nothing.
Nah.
No wonder he ain't looking down the field. And then to have the audacity to show a play where, oh, look, he's open if he just looks here. When? Where you want him to look?
They're in a good position, though. They could probably trade down, right? Get a couple picks. Sure up the offensive line. The Bears.
Who knows? Here's the process in which they have, and the problem is organizations that have to do more stuff upstairs than downstairs, right?
Yeah,
so the first thing they got to do is figure out who's going to be the coach, who's going to be GM, what's going to be the plan before they even get to the players. So all of their business before they get started is upstairs in the suits before they even get down to the action on the field. That's why this is going to take forever.
Pretty crazy, man.
It is. It happened. The Jets are going to go through the same thing, right? The Jets are going to go through the same thing, and it's pretty ironic because think about this: before the season, rank the quarterbacks. A lot of people said, "Ooh, Aaron Rodgers, then Josh Allen."
Yep.
And then Tua, and then whoever's the quarterback with New England.
Drake May.
Drake May. Well, he wasn't the quarterback in the beginning of the season. That's whoever it
Brissett was.
right. So now look at the season. You see what I mean? So there's a lot of this stuff that's played out, and the one thing that's been pretty consistent, I hate to say it, is Josh Allen.
He's been good.
He's the one person in this division that team knew what he was gonna be, and that's what he's been. No injuries, no nothing. He's, he is a quarterback that you can put competent wide receivers out there. You don't have to put elite receivers out there.
Take a break. More to come here on the show. Back after this. I think I would have rather gotten blown out last night by the Pistons than what happened.
Well, when they got back in it, and then they went on that run, I thought it was over.
Dude, they were.
And then all of a sudden, bam, bam, bam. Wow.
That's a Tim Hardaway Jr. You go against give me a Godfather. You go against the family. You go against the family. Never mind. Don't do that.
Better, I think it's better.
But it wasn't.
Right. It was just like the crazy thing is, and the thing about basketball that's funny. You think you do it as great, but they could do it too.
Oh.
Right? So when you say Tyler made 3 threes in the fourth period, and then bam, bam, right back to you, like, oh.
It was it was a crazy game last night.
Because if he misses one, the game's over.
For sure. I mean, they
won.
You started off on first of all, they didn't score. I mean, what happened to them in the fourth quarter was crazy. They couldn't score anymore. And
how old is Cade Cunningham?
21.
He looks like he's 40.
Does he?
Yes.
He's good.
With the hair?
23.
He looks old.
He is. He's good. He scored the go-ahead basket yesterday because Jimmy lost his shoe. Who scored with no shoe? And it was. It stunk. I tell you one thing. Heat locker room was salty yesterday. I mean, they were giving Jax no answers. I was like, poor Jackson Ira. Like you would. Hey, listen, if you guys played that good a defense as you did against answers, you guys would have won that game.
It's one of I always, one of the things that bothers me about sports is, what do you expect these guys? How do you expect these competitors to be 10 minutes after a damn game, after a loss like that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's human nature. So, for reporters and stuff say, well, that's your job. Like, come on, man. What about the human side of this?
Yeah, but I'm saying, I normally know how these guys are after games, win or loss.
Right. It could change based on how the loss happened.
Their asses were chapped after that one. They were not too happy. You want to can you give me Jimmy Butler after the game yesterday, Froggy? Because he was none too into looking at the positive side of a comeback bid falling short.
You prefer winning, but the push to get it to a reasonable game, get it to overtime, to get the lead, are there things you can garner from those moments?
No.
At all. Nothing.
We lost.
Understood.
So let's put this in context.
Yeah.
You go into overtime and you take a 6-point lead.
8-point lead.
8-point lead. How often do teams come back from that?
It has to be very, very few.
In overtime.
It has to be very few.
Right.
I thought it was over.
I thought it was over. So just imagine how they feel. They play in these games. They know how that lead works.
Listen to this stat line from Jimmy last night. 35 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 steals, 1 block. 12 of 21 from the field, 10 of 12 from the free throw line. I mean, he was a monster yesterday.
3 days rest.
3 days rest, Jimmy. 3-day rest, Jimmy. Get another one coming up on Friday. Tyler Hero, who did not have a good game up until the fourth quarter, then boy wonder went boy wonder. He hit the tying 3. Probably should have had a chance at a 4-point play. I thought he was fouled.
Right.
I thought he was fouled, but I mean, whatever. Don't blow that lead. But I thought he was fouled. Should have had the 4-point play. And what do you know? Who was an old plus 21 yesterday? But old Dru Smith.
Oh, yeah.
6 steals, locking up Cade Cunningham. You want to know something, Froggy? Cade Cunningham don't score if Dru Smith didn't foul out. Bogus call, too.
And he was when they called the foul on him, he was directly in front of him.
That's how a point guard is fouled out. How often does a point guard foul out?
I don't have those numbers in front of me.
A
What kind of
point
question
guard,
is that?
A point guard with 6'5" with 6 steals? A lot.
Well, because he was fouling the whole game, clearly.
Okay, dude. Okay.
But they feel bad for him. They're like, who's this little man playing?
And you want to know something? I'm getting real sick of your gambling influencing how you text us during the day.
I mean, Jesus Christ. Can Bam Adebayo score 20 points or can he not? Is that possible, dude? Just once. Just once.
So question.
Yeah.
Question.
Yep.
If you are saying to yourself just once,
yeah,
why in the hell are you betting somebody to score 20 points?
He's due. Is he not due?
If he's due, that means you don't do it.
Nah, he's due. This next game you watch 3
I don't
days
think he
ago.
was- I don't think he was due. I think he actually was like playing pretty. Didn't he just have 20 points? Like I know he did just have a big game. So he kind of.
He had like 25 and 16.
2 weeks ago.
It was this past weekend.
We were talking about it. It's three days before in between games. That was 2 hairstyles ago for Jimmy Butler.
I got to tell you, I don't like when there's too much action.
How do you
Like
foul?
the Panthers, the Heat, 2 football games, too much.
It went perfectly yesterday because it ended like right as the third period was starting, and that's when action picked up.
Yeah.
So it lined up okay yesterday, but I'm with you. It was an exhausting night because they were both crazy games, crazy ass games.
Thank God the football games were boring. Well, not boring. I mean, the Vikings are like the new football, right? Team scores, what they scored? 27? They scored 27 points?
30
points. Quarterback doesn't even have 200 yards passing. That's the new NFL.
Hate it.
Like, you're going to have some games where they light it up, but for the most part, they're scoring 30 points and the quarterback's not even slinging it.
I put together Tobe's official QB list as of right now, and I think it's pretty good, but I looked at it and I'm like, man, there's not that many guys who are like earth-shattering this season.
That's my point, though. My point is that everybody wants to get rid of their guy. We should have never paid him. We should have never. Okay, then what?
Like, there's not many guys on this list. I'm like, they're worth $55 million. Josiah says, Bam's defense is good, just not defense of a big. Bam is a proven dream teamer. Hashtag fire Spo. That's from Dr. Mario. I don't remember Dr. Mario.
Yeah, hey,
says,
Doc, you're only a doctor on the cartoon.
Schmeathan says, Bam's not due. He's just doo-doo. Very mature, Schmeathan. Pretty good.
Point.
Munya Buzz says, Bam's a bum.
He's not here. Can I say this? And I'm gonna say this to people. And
Luis says Bam was hiding in the back seat. I kind of like that one. I feel like he was hiding in the back seat yesterday.
And I believe this, and I'm gonna say this until it's proven wrong. Bam is a 4. He should be playing a 4. His skill set is better used at a 4, but they put him at a 5, and then everybody bitches and complains about what Bam is doing. Did anybody ever consider that maybe Bam is out of position? Because his skill set and what he can do, bringing the ball up, he should be a point forward at times instead of standing in the paint banging bodies.
Yeah, but he does bring the ball up. Like, he's not always down there banging bodies.
But again, I understand that, but you see where I'm getting at with this. So then after the game's over, we look at his numbers without considering the whole game in totality and realizing this guy is banging bodies in the paint and is our best paint defender.
He didn't have a bad game yesterday. He just kind of had a meh game. Like, that's the thing. It's like he got off to a hot start, and then I was kind of like, nah, where is he? And I know Jimmy was taking over, Tyler was kind of going, but it was one of those two where I felt like it wasn't like the most impactful. I mean, the team as a whole didn't play good defense. That damn Pistons team was willy-nilly.
I'm getting a shirt made. Where the hell is Kel'el?
Oh, well, listen, that's another question, okay? Because let me tell you something about Kevin Love, okay? And I love him.
He's old. What do you expect? Anything you get from him is a bonus.
Doesn't Eric Spoelstra feel? Can I just ask him? All right, because Kevin Love even made this point at practice the other day, where he's like,
Whoa, Jennifer.
What'd she say?
Yeah, I
That
don't
was
watch.
a 4, as in good for nothing.
Wow, Jennifer.
Wow.
Wow.
Hey.
J-Fig.
Are you sure? Wait, hold on. Let me be clear.
Oh.
Was that you, Marcos? Because Mark, yeah. I want Kel'el. And you know what I want him to do? I want them to slap him on the butt, put him in the game, and say, "Be tall." That's it.
You know that moose that they had, because the Pistons always play the Heat good, and I think part of it is this Jalen Duren is a monster. 20-year-old behemoth. Do you know how ridiculous it is that this child who can literally jump out of the gym and is the size, he's like a 6'8" linebacker. You can't put him on the floor with Kevin Love. Like, he put a shoulder into Kevin Love. He nearly went into the bleachers. And then you see Ron Holland, a teenager, flying past the old man. And Kevin Love made this point the other day. He goes, all 82 may not be for me. And I'm like, and I'm like, if he has that self-awareness, why not a little Spinsky around the Kel'el wear block? Why can't we open up the warehouse?
Somebody says, "Where is too thin?" Have you seen some of the thin players in the league? Go look at the Windsock playing in San Antonio, or how about OKC, or like man, come on.
You need somebody who can move their feet. You traded Thomas Bryant.
Jack and Wemby follow each other, they might start a fire.
I don't understand it, dude. I really am just like,
No, I was so dude, we had a ticker tape parade when they drafted a 7-footer. Right? And I'm gonna tell you what Tobin told me. He said it. Now we just have to see, because you know how they treat young bigs.
Mm-hmm. And
he's not even in the same damn state.
No, he is.
Not even in the same state.
He was in the state. He was there yesterday.
Did he have a uniform on?
He did.
And could somebody suggest to them, hey, he's really tall. Go use them 6 fouls. Even if he don't cover nobody, just foul people and swap balls. That's great.
The Dru Smith.
I really think you're out of line, and I don't like that. You feel like you have this run of always being right, but you don't. And I would really like you to just admit you were wrong, apologize to Dru Smith, and stop being a bastard with him.
Another foul on Dru Smith while you were making that speech there. I want you to know, we just got another foul out of here.
When you have 6 steals, you're taking risk.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this.
Risk of injury.
Can I ask you a question, Marcos?
Yes.
Because this whole team talks about shooting and trying to get the ball.
Yeah.
Would you rather have no fouls and no steals?
And points?
The point, he has people scoring. Would you rather
he had 2 assists? He did have 2 assists yesterday.
Would you rather him have no fouls and no steals? Because those 6 steals, while he only scored how many points?
7.
He scored 7 points. How many points did those 6 steals generate?
Oh, he's got 1 point.
So that's the, like, you're sitting here just looking, and here we go with somebody watching the game just looking at the stat line.
You're untrained.
What about a guy who has 2 points, 15 assists?
Ooh,
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, do you say, "Oh, you didn't score any points"?
No,
he doesn't generate offense, though. It's not only that he doesn't.
That is generating offense. You think a steal doesn't generate offense?
How many points off did we convert off of that? How many points off the turnovers did we convert?
Hey, Tobin just pulled the Leroy. We need to all take a break. Like, just pause, sit back, because you just
28 points off turnovers yesterday, Frog Boy.
No, directly from his steals.
See,
you're a bastard.
Now we got to go to.
Now I got to go break this down.
Right, deep stats.
I need to see.
But but Marcos, that's his importance. Yeah. So if he gets 6 steals and it ends up being 10 points, or it ends up being what about a 3, or if
I
it
mean,
ends
this
up
is
being
the first time he's gotten 6 steals, though. It's not
but
like
usually has more
He's-
points.
Well, how many games has he played real minutes? Like 15
Oh,
in his career?
he plays like 30 minutes a game now. I don't even see
yeah.
Hayward Smith anymore.
He was the
Now.
first guy off the bench. I tell you
Boy.
what, Spo was not patient with Duncan Robinson yesterday. He said, "Get your ass off the floor."
Man,
He was not
24
happy with
minutes. Look at that. And poor Kel'el Ware can't even get a minute.
Take a
Like
break.
I'm like, so like
I'm going to be annoyed about this every loss. I'm just going to let you know. I'm not
be
going to stop
annoyed by
whining.
it regardless.
Mm.
Because as I've been saying for the last 2 years, Bam's a 4.
Yeah, good for
I'm
him.
tired of seeing him reach for Mardi Gras beads up underneath the net with all the trees.
Take a break. Back after this.
Mr. Me! Can't even see his
It's time for our Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua. It's our Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. Tonga Vailoa. Not
Tua Tagovailoa.
A for effort. Dolphins quarterback.
Tua.
It's our Tua. It's our Tua.
Tua.
Tua, Tua, Tua. Tua, Tua, Tua. We go to hell. To Tonga Vailoa. Dolphins quarterback. Daddy loves you guys.
Our Tua with Tobin and Leroy.
Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. It's Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Let's get to headlines brought to you by Doral Hyundai. At Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory like the Tucson, the Sonata, and the Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Heat lose to the Pistons yesterday, 125-124 in overtime. Wasted a great Jimmy Butler performance yesterday. We'll hear more from him later on. The Panthers defeat the Edmonton Oilers 6-5. Carter Verhaeghe, swaggy with the go-ahead goal. No Barkov yesterday, missed the game with an illness. Matthew Tkachuk, who, I mean, Edmonton just cannot hate him enough. And he was asked about that yesterday. He goes, I know in Florida they like me. And then walked off the interview. He's just a menace. I love him. The NBA Cup final is tonight. The Bucks take on the Thunder. OKC is a 5.5-point favorite in that one. 8:30, Leroy, if you're looking to watch that one. Man Campbell. You have this, Froggy? Man Campbell was on our Detroit affiliate for, I guess, his he does a weekly hit there. And this was him on the Lions losing for the first time in a long time when they fell. He's fallen under some criticism for now being too ballsy, which is a little bit weird. But this was what he had to say after the Lions lost to the Bills this past week.
And look, I don't. You know what happens is, you win 11 in a row, and you lose, and then the sky falls. And I hate to say it, but we're not going to be able to win 11 in a row again for the rest of this season. We're just not going to be able to do it. And, what happens is you get used to eating filet, and I'm talking to all of us, and well, everything's good. Life's good, but you forgot what it was like when you had nothing and you ate your molded bread, and it was just fine. And it gave you everything you needed. And sometimes you got to get punched in the mouth and remember what it used to be like to really appreciate where you are. And we'll do that. And so we got a bad taste in our mouth. We got kicked around the other day. We lost a few guys. And you know what? It's exactly what we needed. This is exactly what we needed. So we're going to bounce back. We're going to respond. We got guys that are about to have an unbelievable opportunity here. And we will play the game any way needed to win. We still got a good offense. We got plenty of defensive players. I can go rattle them off right now. We're going to put the best 11 on the field. We're going to freaking cut it loose. We're going to play with our special teams. And I don't give a crap if we got to win by 1 point for the rest of the year. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to be happy about it. We come out of the game with 50 yards of total offense and we win by 1, you're going to see smiles on my face. I promise you. All right. If it's the other way defensively, we give up 700 yards and we win by 1 point, you're going to see a smile from my ear to ear. All right. I can promise you. So we're going to find a way and we're going to get it done.
Wow.
Dude.
That's Goosey's right there.
But you know what?
Goosey's.
He wouldn't have to respond like that if they win 11 straight and they lose a game and everybody's flipping out, right? Stop. They're fine. Sure. In hindsight, would he have done any different? No. You know why? Because he's trying to win games with the talent that he has, and he knows for a fact they're terrible on defense. So what do? Now, the problem is when you have to put on a whiteboard, I'm onside kicking, it becomes a little more difficult. But, yeah, that's...
Silly Sauce says, God, what I would do to have Man Campbell back.
Oh yeah, you were real excited when he was here. Stop it.
Handsome Daffy. McDaniel needs to take notes. That's a coach.
Yeah.
Dr.
I just
Toboggan.
think here's what I would say, and here's why everybody loves Dan Campbell. He
Man.
starts from a base of physical football. Why does everybody like Mike Tomlin? He starts from a base of physical football. And those coaches who sometimes think are boring and whatever, those are the coaches that can kind of squeeze these wins out when they have no business winning. Now, add to that, they got a really good offense.
They do.
And so that's a bonus to him.
Did you hear?
You know what I'm saying? That's a bonus.
Did you hear Mike Tomlin after the loss this week?
No, what did he say?
This was Mike Tomlin after his loss.
How do you keep this loss from snowballing and carrying into the next 2 games?
It's a loss. I mean, let's not get dramatic.
You see what I mean, though? Like, yeah, man. Like, you know what? Here's the different stages of it. Philly did it the first 3 weeks of the season, right? They were all hyperventilating. And look at where their team is, right? Pittsburgh has been winning and losing games like this for 10 years. And still they complain. And then Detroit just won 11 straight. And their coach understanding maybe the pulse of his team, no, he got to try to get an extra possession or two, right? Because they ain't stopping nobody. So maybe that's what he felt, and he tried to go ahead on and get one. They end up losing 48-42. And everybody's like, oh, is this a snowball effect? Is it, win 11 games in this league and then lose one, and everybody says it's a snowball effect? Come on. Need to calm the hell down.
Jay Gatto says, could have had Tomlin, but no, we had to go for Cameron. That's true. Yeah. That did happen.
Well, there you go.
Ooh.
But can I ask you a question? If Mike Tomlin had become the head coach with the situations you had going on at quarterback, would he still be the coach now? You see what I mean? Like sometimes you end up in a perfect situation and that kind of gets you going to where now you can build something.
Karen says Man Campbell could use McDaniel for one-arm bicep curls.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think he grabs him by the pants and does the curls, or do you picture him like laying McDaniel flat?
I think he gives him a atomic wedge.
He just picks him up an atomic wedgie doing the curls.
I anticipated this question.
He's hey, can we talk about this? 3, 4. No, seriously. This is ridiculous. What would Socrates say? 7, 8.
What would Socrates say to that?
Yeah, and then switch arms. 2, 3. Yeah. But it's just for and keep in mind the same Dan Campbell that acted the same way down here. Nobody liked because he wasn't winning.
They liked him for a couple of weeks.
And they started losing, right? But he was the same guy. When he went to Detroit knew they weren't going anywhere. So they let it play out a little bit. And now they love him. But, it's the same. And keep in mind, I'm very familiar with this. Because they ran Bill Belichick out of Cleveland. Right after a playoff season.
Dr. Toboggan says, Socrates said, stuff McDaniels in the locker.
That's not Mike McDaniel's way.
So I get it. But let's also be clear and understand this.
Yeah.
The coach that was the hard ass that everybody said wouldn't last was Dan Campbell. The coach that came in and ingratiated everybody and said we're all a team, you loved. Right?
I loved him.
And I still love him. But
Wow.
here's the kicker. The team starts from a different base. You can always be physical and go outward. You can't ever be a fancy trick motion eye candy team and then all of a sudden say we're going to be physical.
I feel like they've gotten less physical too. That's the other thing.
But that's and again, so I don't know if it's because and keep in mind sometimes these coaches watch film and with the players they have, they determine they can't do certain things.
I've also wondered, like, just as a philosophy for the Dolphins, like, they just used to be in the first couple of years here with him, like, they struck fear, obviously, a lot with how teams had to defend them. And is there just too much in relenting on what defenses are giving you? I know you say that there's a lot of that going on around the league, but like, is there a point of like you're letting them dictate it too much to almost to a point where it makes you a meeker team?
To a certain extent, but here's what is different. Okay. When you were able to run the ball and you led the league in rushing, that forced the safeties up. That forced other teams to make a conscious effort to stop the ball, right? To stop the run. Otherwise, they would just methodically run the ball down the field and you weren't getting an opportunity to score. Now, you don't have any success running the football because they can just put 6 in the box and stop the run. And so now they can play all these guys really deep. And so that's where it comes. If you look at the NFL, I would say the teams that have the best run games are the teams that also have the best big plays in the passing game because you force those guys to creep up towards the line of scrimmage. So when you look at somebody like, say, Lamar, and Lamar is even worse because he runs the ball. When you look at somebody like Josh Allen, right? Anytime you make a conscious effort to stop the run, Josh Allen ends up running down the field by himself because you sold out to stop Cook. So a lot of those teams, but if you're not threatening in every phase of offense and you can't run the football and all you can do is pass, yeah, they'll let you nickel and dime them, but you're not really going to have any big plays.
We'll take a break. We'll hear a little bit from our adorable little coach who's struggling right now. Hear what he has to say about the state of the team. Back after this. All right, welcome back.
Get to
Wow. Hey, Leroy, a little weather update from the Demesman and Dover law firm. Your accidentturns.com. Free consultations 24/7. Call them up at 866-954-MORE.
Here's the deal. We got some weather. It's been raining for the last couple of days, on and off. And because it's a little bit warmer, it's mostly cloudy. We got rain. It's still windy. Temperatures are around 80 degrees, and the winds are coming out of. Hold on. Looks like it's going southeast. That would explain some of the humidity. Other than that, yeah, it's been kind of a damp week so far.
Yeah.
Not thunderstorms, but just rain.
It's been a damp week, all right, dude. Football raining on my parade.
Yeah.
Here's Mike McDaniel. He said all three phases didn't show up. They need to show up in a game for us.
We're very, very over the top with being transparent with our belief in each other and what we expect out of the season. And in that journey to produce, something closer to our expectations, we have to do right by this football team, organization, and the fan base by having games where our three phases are the reason why we were winning the game, not two or one of them.
Yeah, that's been annoying. Especially the defense giving you that kind of performance. Why do you keep this Danny Crossman around, Mike McDaniel? I got to know. Did he save you from drowning?
Well, you can't do nothing about it now.
Get somebody new. And can I ask you another question?
Sure.
Let me ask you something. We got another long snapper. I mean, we got 9 long snappers on this team. First of all, I didn't even know we had this many long snappers available.
Did you ever think that maybe he's the long snapper because he can come in and do other things too?
No, dude, they're literally just signing new long snappers every 4 weeks because they keep running out because their other long snapper, I don't know what the hell went on with him. I hope everything's okay. He's on some non-football injury list, but he just hasn't played in months. So they just keep bringing up guys. You get like 3 games out of them, and then you got to go to a new guy. So they're going on to like their 5th long snapper of the season. And I'm like, is there like a bureau of long snapper? Like, who are they called? I need another one. Hey, this guy ran out of games. Who do you got for me?
Didn't we get someone from the Long Snapping Academy last time?
We got somebody who was a member of the Long Snapper.
No, that's the guy that was
Texas.
sitting outside, right?
No, that was the punter from Middle Tennessee.
Yeah.
Right.
The punter from Middle Tennessee wanted a shot. If he was a long snapper, he probably would have gotten a shot.
Here's the problem.
Shut up.
Here's the problem. I saw the extra point.
Yeah.
The snap was a little off, but the hold looked fine.
Yeah.
So, like, we are getting rid of the long snapper?
Well, he only has so many games. That's the thing. Otherwise, they have to really, I guess, cut the other long snapper, which I found the whole weird thing.
So it has nothing to do with the actual long snapper, but the situation of
their long snapper has been out for personal reasons, I think, or whatever, non-football injury, whatever the hell's going on with Blake Ferguson, which I wish everything's going well. But they have to do this whole do-si-do with the roster, so you only get so many games out of the long snapper that you bring in. So you sign to the practice squad, and I guess you only get like 3 games if you're a practice squad player before you got to be on the actual roster. So they just keep cutting loose long snappers, and then we got to bring in a new long snapper. What if we just end up with a bum? You got to think that eventually we're going to run out of capable long snappers. That there's just it's just the probabilities of it all.
Can I just tell you? No.
You sure?
I'm positive.
There's just long snappers walking the earth.
No, there's just football players. Like, there might not be guys at elite level.
It reminds me
that you need on, like, say, the offensive line. But a long snapper, dude, stop.
Dude, it's
what
crazy.
that's like. And listen, this is no disrespect to a long snapper. Okay? No disrespect. So don't take it. Don't read into it. Don't nothing with what I'm about to say. The long snapper is the equivalent to breaking a shoelace during a football game. You run to the sideline, you get another one.
Well, it was meaningful yesterday because Jimmy Butler needed that to get his shoe back on. They were 4-5 on defense.
He had them Skechers slide-ons. He just slid that thing on, huh?
I'm just
Which
saying.
means maybe you ought to tighten that lace a little bit tighter if it's falling off like that.
By the way, Jimmy, you know, I'm all for jokey jokes, and I love the trolling. You didn't also have to go Warriors color shoes last night, dude. All right.
So that's his thing.
Running, what are you? You're like Gallagher smashing the watermelon now. This is going to be a bit every night.
The same guy who said you can't train anyone to be a long snapper. I didn't say that.
No, I said that.
You said it. So there you go. Smith, apologize, you bum.
No, my whole point was why can't we make a guard a long snapper? Like they should have been taking this Andrew Meyer all year, who's basically been, you know, an emergency guard, and they should have been training him a long snap.
He was wrong. An apology was expected. Admit when you're wrong, Smeathan.
Wow. Julian Hill should have been training as a long snapper.
Dude, totally. Like, how have they not trained anybody as a long snapper this
When I
entire
was in
season?
Cleveland, our tight end was the long snapper.
Well, yeah, I don't understand.
Brian Kitchen.
This is what should have been done. Instead, we got to call up Carl at the Long Snapping Association and be like, I need another one, Carl.
Again, and you so eloquently. Ooh.
Big word for me, dog.
Wait. That's not the worst part. That's not the worst part. The worst part is looking at you two jackasses' faces. Because you're like this. You guys just looking at the crash and burn. Oh, this is getting ugly. Anyway,
he thought he was going to get through it. Appropriately, the damage is done, my friend. Who's next?
Damage is done. WQAM.
move on with damage done.
Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQM got another 4-pack of Heat tickets to give away to Heat and Nets. And we'll give that away at some point if you guys want to go. That is next Monday at the Kaseya Center. So keep listening to us. We'll give away that 4-pack of tickets to Heat and Nets. We'll get back into a little bit of that game. Jimmy Butler with some interesting bristling comments that I want to get to at the end of yesterday's game. So we'll get to that. And also a big-time Panthers win from yesterday as well. But it's time for damage is done. And you see this, Froggy? So this is going on in the world of UFC right now, right? Dana White has come out and he's like, I got something for 2025 that's going to blow your mind. You'll never see it coming. You'll never see it coming, which, hey, don't disappoint me, dude. Okay, that's good. And by the way, he was like, it's not Aspinall versus John Jones. He goes, that's 100% happening. He's got something else that's going to happen. Okay. Something else is up his sleeve for this upcoming year. Yeah. So, MMA Twitter, which you cannot trust anymore because, you just don't. Everybody just says things and hopes they get it right? And hopes they get it. So, yesterday, a lot of chatter on the internet that the fight he's discussing, that's going to be the one that nobody sees coming. Because, like yesterday, I told Leroy, I said, why is Dana White going on First Take? He doesn't usually, it means he's got something else. He just went on First Take to say, also, I got something big. It was like, what are you wasting Stephen A. Smith's time for? Say what you got. So anyway, the rumor was that was kicking around yesterday was that Conor was going to fight Ilia Topuria, current featherweight champion, but was going to move up. I guess I assumed, do this at 155. That was the rumor. I can't imagine they're going to expect Topuria to go up to 170. Although I don't know how Conor's getting down to 155. That's just me personally. Whatever.
Well, just staying on the same stuff he's been on.
I mean, he's never fighting again anyway. So why?
He's never fighting. Well, he says he is fighting again.
Yeah, but not in the UFC.
Here's where the damage is done.
All right.
Conor McGregor has come out and he says the rumors of a bout with Topuria are false.
There you go.
I am in preliminary agreements with the Ambani family to face Logan Paul in a boxing exhibition in India. I have agreed. I will then seek my return to the octagon.
Whoa.
And I got to tell you.
And you know why? Because he'll make more money.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
he makes more money in the UFC, but that Logan Paul.
Doesn't. No,
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, though, dude. Here's the thing. The damage is done, my friend. You want to know something? Getting back to what we were saying, he's never fighting again. Stop with this whole thing. Oh, I'm going to fight Logan Paul in a boxing match. First of all, no, you're not. Dana White's not going to do that. You're under contract. Second of all,
is he under contract with the UFC?
He is. Second of all, who gives a rat's ass about him boxing Logan Paul? Like, nobody cares about watching Logan Paul. Logan Paul already fought Floyd Mayweather. It was awful. It was objectively awful. Everything the Paul brothers usually put in the ring is pretty awful. But like, if you're gonna fight somebody, at least fight the one that fights, not the one who's a pro wrestler. So like, the damage is done. Terrible idea. Stop pretending like you're gonna fight. You're not gonna fight. All right, deal with all that you got to deal with in Ireland that's going on right now, and stop annoying people with fake rumors. Damage is done, my friend Conor.
Damage is done, my friend.
I was going to go with a different one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the events that preceded this came about. I don't know what happened in my innards. I don't know what my brain was doing. We tried to push through. We could not. Somebody should have told my mouth. That's usually a signal that comes down from the brain. that after 3 tries, let it go.
Yeah.
And I kept going.
Too strong.
I kept going.
Too much, dude.
And the damage was done to the point where I had to stop and laugh myself.
Damage is done.
Just a big word snuck up on me, dog. Like,
oh, it snuck up on you, all right.
My brain said,
Run with it.
Run with it.
So eloquently.
That's a big word for me, dog.
I hate the fact that Marcos has all the buttons ready to fire off anytime we dip our toes into big words.
Well, it's either that or he just shakes you off and goes, mm-mm.
That's a point. Put Dave South up.
Point.
Dave
for
South says,
Witcher.
eloquent put Leroy's mouth under the blue tent.
Hey, by the way, I saw how you paused before you read that.
Oh, you got
Hey, I'm not taking any judgment from you, dude.
How many times did you say it inside before you?
Not as many as you attempted to say it. Like it sounded like a lawnmower starting.
Again, and you so eloquently.
But I said it right the first time.
Well, yeah, but you weren't confident in it.
Dog.
I wasn't confident. No, was not confident. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna be the first to admit that. Yeah.
I hit you with my own version of Joe Rose.
Again, and you so eloquently.
Word for me, dog.
Karen, hey, we get it, Karen. It didn't come out right. Thought I heard elephantly.
I mean, we were just staring at you, being like, let's see if he gets through this.
No, you weren't. You were like going, and Marcos, I hate you because you could tell like after the first one, you like got something here.
I was already marking it.
Marcos, what do you got for damages done?
My damages done goes to the mass amount of quote unquote fans, observers, and now even comedians who unfortunately seem to be harassing Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter's girlfriend. Oh, fiance.
I see this going on, man. This is like all the rage right now.
Yeah, she put
So
some
much
stuff
so.
out there.
Yeah, she put out an 8-minute video on TikTok, which 8 minutes in the social media is like, might as well be a movie at this point. But essentially explaining and defending each one of the points that has been, drawn against her as of recent. For example, they've said that, obviously she's only with him for the money. She only responded to him once she found out who he was. And then like people are observing her every movement during the Heisman Trophy ceremony when Travis Hunter's name was called. The speed and rate at which she stood up is now being analyzed to determine whether or not she's a good woman of sorts. Godfrey, a pretty known comedian who will be headlining at the Dania Beach Improv first
He's got
week.
the weird voice, right?
I mean, he does impressions in multiple voices.
You thinking of Gilbert Godfrey?
I'm thinking of Gilbert.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. Affleck guy?
Yeah, rest in peace. Yes, the now deceased Gilbert Godfrey will not be headlining the Improv.
Oh, he's not with us?
I totally forgot Gilbert Godfrey was dead.
Correct.
He's dead?
He's dead. Yes.
You sure?
I'm pretty sure.
How long has he been gone?
Oh man, this is not on my bingo card for today.
2 years. Wow.
Yeah, man. April 12th.
Oh,
April 12th.
No.
Oh no, indeed. We finally caught up. To
Oh no!
I best know him from Aladdin, though, if I'm being honest. That's really
The parrot?
Yeah, the parrot in Aladdin. That was really the peak of his career, if you ask me.
So his name is Godfried with a D, not Godfrey.
So so your damage is towards just people bothering them to them?
Yeah.
Like what do you who is it towards, Froggy?
It is definitely towards the fans and anyone who is commenting on their relationship or how good of a person she is. Mind your business. Long story short, mind your damn business.
Yeah, like it's pretty amazing that any relationship that's out there, right? People feel the need to comment on whether they should or shouldn't be together. Like get your own relationship.
Now the poor girl's
be
crying.
happy in your life, right?
Yeah.
But here's the other thing, is that people think they want fame, but then when they get it, however they get it, it ain't always something everybody wants. You know what I mean?
And I think the thing that's disappointing about it is, like, you know, the internet. Ooh, got me. The internet's become such a volatile place.
That ain't even close to how eloquent.
No, it wasn't. It's become such a volatile place. Like, this is supposed to be one of the great weekends of accomplishment for Travis Hunter, and unfortunately, now that the internet's gone and bullied his fiance into saying, "Oh, you didn't like him in the first place," like.
Right.
Come on, dude. Like that's what we all feel good about. Is you should be celebrating this guy, the inspirational words that he's saying, the things that he's saying to his father, the living up to the expectations that he's had. I found all of it very disappointing. You almost wish like you could tell them to, like, the internet will move on to something in 3 seconds, but I can't even imagine being 20 years old and having to deal with that, because that's just
comments every time J-Lo gets a new husband. But I've never ever said anything along the lines of this, right? And all of my comments have proven to be true. Every guy that she's dated or been with, she even came out with a new album or a new movie. So you do with that what you want. That's a fact.
I wish you wanted to own the Marlins. Once you did your A-Rod, I wish that was going to be a thing.
I mean, the one thing that I would say about Deion is all of his players and all of them, none of them drink, none of them party.
Right.
And
I saw that was another viral clip that went, like, saying like, oh, he would drop her off at parties, she would go drink because he doesn't drink. Like, he likes to keep to himself.
He'd wait out.
What?
Right.
Who cares, man? Mind your business.
Who cares? Like, why do you guys care? You think that Travis Hunter really doesn't have success to life, by the what's right now? Like, you think that Travis Hunter is really gonna get foisted by all this?
Right.
I
That's
mean,
one of the things that I appreciate, the fact that he seems to have his stuff together, and you so worried about his stuff, he ain't bothered by it.
I've never, like, people have this weird thing in today's day and age, like, they want to comment on how people get to their happiness,
right?
And that if it's not in the parameter, because they're so miserable and they like basking in the miserable life of others, that because it's not just done this one way, because guys, mostly through life, things are done through compromise. Not everybody got to things perfectly and down perfect roads. You're going to be thrown boomerangs and obstacles at you all the time. And who gives a rat's ass whether or not Travis Hunter's girlfriend didn't like him initially?
You go.
She likes him now.
There it is.
What's that?
Tobin, you watch Love Island. Sure.
But that's purely what that show is for. That's purely what that. That's
like,
they literally sign up for that show.
You know what's funny? Like, we live in a world right now where nobody can be happy.
Right.
Like, you can't, like, everybody finds happiness a different way, right? Like, things you might think are trivial, it might make somebody else the happiest person in the world, but you can't be happy for them because for whatever reason. But I would just say he's a good dude, right?
He's a good dude. He's happy.
Right.
He's probably going to end up being happy.
Tell that to Publix. I do when I get good customer service. I applaud them. Right? Listen, I don't have a sign that says where customer service is a pleasure. That's their saying.
You just got to be happy with people who are in love. Like you, Marco, should be happy with the fact that Eric Spoelstra is in love with Dru Smith's play and stop criticizing him about it. You rat bastard.
Love is what's bringing the Heat down. You see?
No, it's not what's bringing them down right now. Well, maybe Kevin Love.
You see,
Hey,
Kevin Love, Bam Adebayo's relationship.
You know the parameters in which Kevin Love can play. If you play him outside of those parameters and bad things happen, whose fault is that?
I just don't understand why he can't play his 7-footer. What did he do?
That is like, dude, I don't.
That guy gets no love.
Is everybody perfect? Like, I'm sure Nico was, but like, you saw Nico on the floor the other day. You telling me that guy shouldn't be getting regular minutes for the Heat?
No, because Dru Smith is too busy getting 6 fouls.
They don't play the same position, front boy.
Dru
Stop
Smith
comparing everybody to Dru Smith.
Personal foul, Dru Smith on the play. Probably.
By the way, speaking of Asia Wilson, congratulations to her. Shams reporting that she has signed a new deal with Nike, a 6-year contract extension, one of the richest deals for a women's basketball player. So congratulations to the MVP.
Yep. She should get the highest, right? I would say Caitlin Clark got the highest.
Probably Caitlin Clark or Sabrina Ionescu. I know a lot of NBA guys. I think Tyler wears the Ionescus. Is that what they're called?
Ionescu?
Ionescus? I don't think it's Ionescu. I don't think that's how you say it.
Ionescu?
No, I think it's Ionescu.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
It sounds like you're saying the new school.
A new school.
Ionescu?
Yeah.
You say all of it?
Yeah.
I thought it was like
I know it's Ionescu.
I can't even.
I know that's how it's spelled, but is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Her spouse's name is even worse.
What?
She's her husband. His name is, oh my gosh. God bless this guy. Hronis.
HRO.
Hronis. And last name
Hronis Grasu. And he plays for the Raiders? Or used to?
Yeah, he did. I mean, I see him. He was drafted in 2015 by the Bears, so he's probably no longer in the league.
Yeah, house husband now, kicking up his feet. He goes, you got the Nike.
House husband by 33. That's the life, dude.
That's a good life.
That's a good life. God bless him. Weird name though.
Somebody go criticize his TikTok.
Oh yeah.
You only married her because she's the best basketball player. I tried to make it in the NFL.
I tried. I did my thing, dude.
I would guess they went to the same college.
Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
Well, I guess, but they're 6 years apart though. So yeah, I guess they will overlap at some point, probably. Somehow.
Anyway, we'll hear a little bit from Jimmy Butler. Not too pleased after the game. That's next. Oh, baby. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Florida Panthers last night won themselves a thriller over the Edmonton Oilers. 6-5 yesterday, Leroy.
Wow. No wind and the sun's out.
Okay. You didn't see that one coming?
Mm-mm. It looked bad.
The Cats yesterday, they were down 4-2 in this game. 4-2 in the middle of the second period. And then they said, Gus Forsling scores right before the end of the second period. Then the Cats go up. Nico Mikkola, he evens things up. And then Sam Reinhart, he knocks it right off of Skinner's head. Here's the call from Doug Plagans last night.
Pass up top. It's away from Ekholm. A race down to our left. Reinhart there ahead of Ekholm, who blew a tire. Reinhart for a sharp angle. He scores. Reinhart put it off the back of Skinner. And the Panthers have taken a 5-4 lead. What a turn of events here in Edmonton.
Man. How the hell did he see that? I mean, like this like
I
Plagans
told
is
you,
good.
they just, because they're looking at monitors mostly.
I don't know what they're looking at because they're up high in hockey.
That's what I'm saying. You can't see all that from up there.
Maybe he can. Maybe he's trained himself. Like, I don't know. We don't know. Doug Plagans could be a sniper for all we know. Who knows?
Yeah, to see that puck from so far, that's crazy.
Remember the year in hockey they put the little thing on the puck, so you can follow it?
I didn't like that. You know what ESPN kind of does a little bit of that. Like they try and make it like it's NHL Live, where it's like, hey, we got this guy, he's got the puck, and it's like I can see who has the puck. You guys don't need to put video game graphics.
Or how
around
about
it.
in football when they circle the guys they're thinking they're blitzing?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. By the way, you know who we got this week on the call for the Dolphins?
Who?
Oh, Jim.
Oh, really?
We haven't had a Romo game in a while.
Yeah, I mean, we've been wasting all our Harlan games, so that's what we deserve.
It is. We're you know what? Harlan's like, you guys, I'm not doing you guys anymore. You guys made me, you ruined Tyreek Hill. I don't get to have any fun anymore. And all I got to hear is Trent Green talk about being conservative.
I just hope that next week's game is flexed.
Oh, I don't know, dude. We'll have to see. They haven't decided that.
Otherwise, Marcos, I can't promise you nothing, brother. 5 a.m.
Imagine freezing your ass off for a meaningless game.
I mean, I'm used to it whenever I go up to Cleveland in December. No, that's not true. They've been to the playoffs 2 years ago.
The horses are ready.
I'm like, oh my goodness. It's going to be so cold. December 29th.
Yep.
That's prime cold too.
Prime cold, dude.
I got to pack. I can't even wear flip-flops on the plane.
With socks, of course.
Yeah. But I can't do that.
Too cold?
Oh my God, yes.
Man. No, I just can't travel there.
It says, I mean, currently, right now, the 10-day forecast. It says low of 42.
Oh, that's great.
It's not too bad.
That's not too bad at all.
It's not too bad. It does look like it could be bad. It could be bad weather, like some rain and stuff like that. With us, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be. It doesn't look like it's gonna be cold.
Rain just means that I will not go on the field and say hi to Joe and the boys. Rain means I'm just gonna sit up.
Well,
you know,
I have
the suite that I sit in, you can't even see the field.
Why?
What? Why? Yeah.
Big Spoon! Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Why can't you see the field?
Because the suite, where the suite is, all they have is TVs. You don't see out onto the field.
Carter Verhaeghe, he had the game winner for the Cats. Here was him to put him up 6-5 for good.
Back behind the net, Ekholm. Backhand near side. Missed the intended man. Mikkola holds it in. Down to Bennett in front. Verhaeghe, a shot. He scores! And the Panthers take the lead once again. It's 6-5. Carter Verhaeghe right out in front.
Wow. Swaggy.
Hagee able to beat Skinner. The Panthers lead by a goal inside 7 minutes to play.
JJ told me on Twitter last night, never disrespect my king again, Tobin. And he sends a photo of Carter Verhaeghe with what seems like he's on the head of Jesus's body.
Let's say Leroy will put his bare feet on someone's chair. No, I won't.
Oof.
Too cold.
Listen.
It's too far away. The seat in front of me.
Gotcha. It's very spacious. We get it. You're going to be treated like a king in Cleveland. Meanwhile, the Heat, they lost last night in overtime. Very frustrating. A game they were down 19. They come all the way back. They tie it, go to overtime, take an 8-point lead, 8-0 run to start overtime. Tim Hardaway then hits 3 straight threes. Bang, bang, bang. Jimmy Butler gets a bucket with no shoe on. While he's getting his shoe, Cade Cunningham then gets a bucket. And the Miami Heat end up losing 125-124. Jimmy Butler, this is his stat line from last night: 35 points, 19 rebounds, 10 assists, 4 steals, 1 block. Tyler Hero was tremendous in the fourth quarter. This was Jimmy after the game on scoring a bucket with no shoes, something we haven't seen the like since Mike Miller.
Give me the sneaker play. Is there a decision to be made about either get back on defense or get the shoe, or just playing on a sock? Is that not even an option on that play yet?
I gotta put my shoe back on. I don't know. Maybe I should have ran down there without a shoe. I don't know. I'll take the blame for it. It makes me no difference. I like it. Put all the pressure on my side. I take it. I love it. I love all the adversity. Maybe I got to do better. Maybe I got to do more. But I hate losing. I despise losing.
What more can you do?
Steven Stevens is right. That wasn't the best shot.
Yeah, last shot
at
by
the
Tyler
end.
Hero.
Yeah.
Going for the 3?
Well, it wasn't even that. It was like a bad 3.
It was.
Did he have time? He had time to pump fake it.
He had Duran on him, so I think he was probably like, looking. He's like, yeah, can I drive past this guy? I mean, look, Tyler Hero was on the heater from 3. That's as good a shot as he is at in the league.
Right. No, I know. I'm not. Again, with the amount of time that was left, did he have to take it right then?
Well, the first thing that happened, remember, like they inbounded it. They gave it to Jimmy. It was very confusing because the broadcast said that the Heat were in the bonus.
Yeah, they fouled Jimmy, and we thought Jimmy was going to take shots.
Right.
But they had a foul to give.
Yeah, and they, for some reason, there was a graphic mistake on the Heat's broadcast, so they had them in the bonus on the ticker, but they were not. So Jimmy ends up getting his own miss. He gets fouled on the way up. Then the Heat have to reset an inbound, and as you said, gets to Tyler Hero. He shoots the 3, no good. Yeah, I like the original play that they drew up, obviously, but that's what they rolled with. And but you blow an 8-0. I mean, an 8-point lead.
Overtime.
I mean, that's crazy.
That's unheard of. That part is unheard of. Almost unheard of is coming back from a 19-point deficit. So, yeah. You live both sides of that in a short period of time.
Do you guys read into anything of what Jimmy's saying there, though? Like a little bit of frostiness, where he's like,
no, I just think he hates losing. So, and he doesn't care where the blame goes. He just hates losing. So if you want to blame somebody, basically saying if the streets need a body, I'll be that body, but I hate losing.
Al Mago says, great audition game for Jimmy. I don't like that.
I mean,
I don't like that, dude.
I don't like that.
I don't like his Warrior shoes either.
He did look good, though.
He looked great. He's going to look great on Friday, too. Big game.
I thought you was getting ready to say he's going to look great on Golden State.
No, he's retiring with the Heat.
You sure about that?
No.
No, okay. All right. At least you're being honest.
No.
But let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And this is from the biggest whale watcher there is.
Yep.
What if what you get makes you happy?
Nothing of what I've seen will make me happy. The only thing that will make me happy, kind of happy, is, like I said, if the Suns thing happens and that equals getting Durant. That's it.
Why you want Durant?
That's it. That's the only thing that's the only consolation prize. Is at least you get to watch Durant in a Heat uniform. I mean, it feels like something we've been chasing
Could you
forever.
imagine Durant, Bam, and Kel'el on the front?
It'd be fun.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that would make me happy. But it doesn't seem like they're going to trade Durant, even though it doesn't seem. Even though, listen, Durant is always miserable. You want to talk about guys who are surly? Hey, Durant, make a stink.
I don't see. He doesn't make a stink.
He made the stink the one time, but then he didn't make it. Then he relented on its stink, and then he ended up getting traded in the middle of the year.
Right.
Either way,
but you notice every team that has appeased Durant has ended up being miserable. So, hey, I want to go to this team. Then that team ends up being miserable. Hey, I want to go to, with Kyrie and that team ends up being miserable. Now he's in Phoenix, and I don't know what. And are the three in Phoenix, were they better than the three in New Jersey or in Brooklyn?
The only thing that makes them better,
You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like the three that they had with Kyrie.
That team was cursed. Like they never played together. You had the whole injuries with Harden, injuries with Durant. You had the vaccine stuff with Kyrie. Then he was away from the team. Like that just the whole thing was a combustible disaster.
Right.
Probably talent wise, yeah, I would say
I'm just saying those three in general. Not
I mean Beal's not in those guys' classes.
Right.
And they're gonna try and get the Heat to trade for him. You ever hear of something so ridiculous? Oh, you guys, why don't we make a trade for Jimmy Butler to the Suns? We getting Durant? No, you guys get Bradley Beal, who's got the exact same money that you won't give to Jimmy Butler. Oh, makes sense. Cool. Thank you. Shut up, Shams. I'm lashing out.
I don't think they would trade. I don't think they would trade for Bradley Beal.
No, they already said no. Could have traded for him last year for peanuts. Nah. Could have given up for like Lowry and like two hoodies from the Heat store. The Heat said no thanks. Now you're going to give up for Jimmy Butler? Skeptical.
So basically what you're saying is as of right now, there's really nothing that would pique your interest.
No. I have not heard anything that piques my interest.
Okay.
But I'm a selfish boy.
I know, but like I would tend to agree with you. Like you would have to get something pretty good in return.
One, I think we may be back. Okay. And I know I say this on the night that they just lost to the Pistons, but the Pistons always give us a hard time. You should give them more credit than they deserve. We should give them more credit than they get.
Don't do that. No,
they're a tough. They're a tough out.
The only reason why you're giving them credit because they beat the Heat.
They're tough. They're tough.
But again, you pick and choose how you're going to use your.
No, that's not true. I'm very fair, and
you didn't give a 20 and 14 credit.
Who? The Cavs?
Yeah.
Kick their ass.
So they lost the game, and you're saying they're not what they are, and the Heat lost the game, and you're giving them credit for being
they're tough.
They're not.
Scrappy bunch.
They're scrappy, but they're still what? 2 games over 500?
Who, the Heat?
Yeah.
For now.
Okay, but I'm just saying, like, it is what it is. Like, until something happens that they go on a run that puts them 5 or 6 games up, you do realize they've been in this spot for the last 2 or 3 years, around 500.
I got a feeling
you understand this, right?
I understand,
Okay,
but we got a big showdown coming down on Friday, okay, against the Thunder, who may or may not be Cup champions. We'll see. And after that, then we got a back-to-back in Orlando, who's broken right now. They're kind of starting to come back to earth because, I mean, who could survive what they've gone through? And then, we have a path on a run. We have a path on a run if we TCB. I think we may be back, but it all comes down to Friday.
So we get to nothing before this has they've been around 500 for 3 years.
Yeah, but it took us a little bit out of the starting blocks, but then we won 4 straight, okay? And so I'm not, this is why I say, like, frustrating. We were this close to 5 straight. I think we still may be back.
Okay.
It's only
I
a
want-
1 point loss in overtime, so But if they get blown out next game, they're done.
Right.
But we'll still
Big stakes on Friday.
big stakes.
Oh, damn near have the same record as the Pistons.
I don't like that.
I mean, it's the reality.
Mm.
I'm not saying they can't do
The Pistons are
anything
5
or
games
whatever,
under.
but
No,
you're saying the Heat are back.
Maybe.
Back from what?
I haven't said they're back. I haven't said they're back. I won't let you say a
You
thing.
said maybe.
They may be back.
Okay, good. Okay, good word choice. And I'm saying they're in the same spot they've been for the last 3 years.
We're one back of the 3 seed, dude. One back in the loss column.
Okay,
Maybe we got
you're
games in
right.
hand.
Oh, okay, you're still right around 500, which
got
is
games
where
in
you've been for the last 3 years.
We got time, baby.
Okay. All right. Right around 500.
Dade South says this is the stage where Wild Heat Coyote sets up the trap that will eventually not work.
Yep. Acme you just got Acme delivered. Right? You're setting up on top of the hill.
I really don't think I'm
drop
being
the rock 700 feet and have it land on the road runner.
I really don't think I'm being unreasonable here.
Then you fall off the cliff and the rock falls on you. Yeah. That sounds that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
There's my win streak running away.
It's not like it's just again. You say they're back. Back to what?
Stop saying I said that. I stopped saying I said that.
They're almost back. They may be back.
They may be back.
Maybe back to what?
On the right path.
They've been here.
Nah.
They've been in this little spot.
I'm telling you, there's
for
something
2.5
about them.
years.
We're right
3
there.
years.
We're right there.
Right, but that's right where?
If I okay, so like let's say I put into my Apple Maps and I'm like, all right, take me to my destination back. All right.
Would your destination be in the play-in?
No.
Okay, then right around 500. That's where
You got games in hand.
Listen, unlike you, I'm not saying what they can or can't do from here. I'm not questioning. I'm not saying one way or another. But I am saying this. As of right now, they are in the same spot they've been for the last 2.5, 3 years. And if that is the case, and I can see it, you don't think the Heat management can see it and say, maybe we need to do something?
This just 1-4 straight, baby.
That's
I mean,
all,
you're
still not.
I am answering your question.
Kinda. Yes or no?
Give me till New Year's.
Now we're okay. Okay.
Don't look at me like that, frog boy. You're supposed to be on my side.
I don't know. I just didn't like the wiggle out there. Now we're extending the deadline. Okay.
Yeah. It's holiday season, like let's see, let's take a little. We got a Thunder game, we got some Magic games coming up. Hawks have been sneaky good. I think there's some real measuring sticks out there.
All right.
Okay.
I got you.
December 29th in Houston. I'm sure Jimmy Butler's going to be up to antics that night.
Okay.
Red hair.
Yeah. Take a break. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Oh, hello, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hello.
I don't mean to be rude on this one, but you look like you're in a dungeon today.
Yeah.
So the damage is basically done for me.
Oh.
I made a mistake yesterday.
Damage is done.
Oh, I know what she did.
I left my charger for the computer I use all the time at the station for some reason. And so I'm using a different computer, and it's just the whole lighting of the entire computer is just straight up off. So yeah, I even have a light on. It's very sad here.
It does look sad.
It looks like you're on that diet. Also.
I'm here. I tried.
By the way, got some news for Leroy when he pops back, and a shout out to JIP for letting us know what's going on. But he looks like he is going to have an earlier game. The Dolphins Sunday Night Football against the Browns. Flexed
out of Sunday Night Football.
Out of Sunday Night Football, dude.
That's the wrong kind of flex, if I'm not mistaken.
It has been flexed back to 4:05, and so now Falcons Commanders is going to be Sunday Night Football.
Man, flex out of prime time. That's got to be horrible. Before you have an opportunity to shake the narrative that we can't get it done in prime time, the NFL gave us an out and said, "Don't worry about it, dude. You won't have to embarrass yourself again."
Leroy,
that's why the game got flexed.
Flexed,
dude.
Right, so 4:05 is your kickoff that day, Leroy.
Much better.
Are you referring to your thirst being quenched or the game?
The game.
Oh,
and my thirst being quenched. Somebody got.
What did you just house down some peanuts, man? Like what's going on?
They my wife had to get something done.
Mm-hmm.
So on the way home, my mother-in-law, and my daughter went to Jersey Mike's, and I just put a dad tax on some stuff.
Oh, all right. Well, you got to put a dad tax. They got to learn.
Of course,
they got to learn.
Yep.
All right. We'll take a break. We'll mix things up coming up next. All right, welcome back, everybody. We just had a brouhaha at the David Benavidez, David Morrell workout.
Whoa!
Yeah, well, a little fracas broke out there between both of them. David Morrell threw his championship belt at David Benavidez's face after DB shoved him when they went in the face-to-face.
Isn't there a fight in February?
Yeah.
Is it normal for them to be drumming up this kind of animosity this early on?
Yeah, because they do like the media stuff. Then they get into camp, get away from all of it. You know, maybe they'll do something a couple more weeks out.
They're gonna have to separate them at the weigh-in.
Looks like it, dude. This is nuts. These guys seem to hate each other. But I'll see if I get a clip of that so we can use that later at the hour. But they just I was just watching that during the break. And I don't even think David started working out yet. He just got there in his street clothes. And Morrell had just finished his media workout, which, you know, if you've ever been to a media workout, you know, you just skip and rope a little bit. You hit some pads, you know, just move around a little bit for some pictures, you know. And then you talk to the media a little bit. But this one, it's typically, they're typically separate. They don't typically do them together. But this one they did together. And so as Morrell is there, he waits for Benavidez to come in. They yak at each other. Benavidez shoves Morrell, and then Morrell throws his belt at David's face. I was like, wow, I've never seen that move before.
Yeah, very strange because he's also a champion, right? Benavidez?
Yeah, he's got the WBA belt. Both of them, though, both of them are like
not the real
side ramp belts. The real belts are on Benavidez right now.
Ooh,
you know how boxing works.
How many belts are there in that division right now?
There's 4 real belts. Then there's an interim belt, which is basically like if Bevol's Achilles blows out in this, or Benavidez's Achilles blows out in this fight, you know, then you could ascend to regular champion. So that's why they have those. But it's also just so these ring sanction places can just get more of a cut.
Get more money, right? So instead of having no champ, in order for the champ to be acknowledged, he has to pay a cut of the gate or whatever that is. Cut of the purse.
But yeah, let's mix it on up, dude. Just like they were at the gym, huh?
Let's do it.
The mixed bag is brought to you by Hurt Feelings. What do you got for us today, Froggy?
That because of the fracas, or is there other hurt feelings?
Nah, I mean my feelings are hurt. The Heat lost. Mike McDaniel's feelings are hurt.
All right, yeah, that's fair. That is fair indeed. And you know what? Why don't we start there in our mixed bag today?
Okay.
Michael McDaniel. I don't buy the full name from now on. You don't get Mike. You get Mike when, you know, we're cool, we're buddies, everything's cute and funny. You lose games when we need them most, you're Michael now. Unfortunately, one of the reasons why the Dolphins weren't able to get it done was the poor run game and the poor blocking. This is Mike McDaniel addressing how poor the blocking was and how it led to a poor run game.
You know, I think this particular game, you know, I don't think was up to the standard, and regardless of whoever's in there, I think everyone's very, very aware after today's meetings that is not anything that we want Miami Dolphin football to look like. I think, you know, our competitors in the running back room, you know, want to do better with the looks that are given. But last night, I didn't think that they're really giving their yards per carry doesn't do them justice. I thought our blocking wasn't good enough, and so then the focus is specifically on, you know, this week and how to improve that, and anything beyond that, you know, is conversation, hyperbole or whatever. But we need to get it better fast, because the same problem will present itself if we allow it to this week against the 49ers.
I got an idea. Just a thought. Can we not play Eichenberg anymore? Why don't you put Isaiah Wynn? No. Just hear me out. Let's just try it on for size. Let's wear the shoe around the store for a little bit. Put Isaiah Wynn at right guard. Just try it out. See if this bum doesn't give up sack after sack and pressure after pressure. See if he can actually get some push up front. Why don't we try somebody else there instead of this guy who's got one move, which is to aggravate defenders?
God, here comes another one of these conversations that I just hate. Every offensive lineman does not have the ability to play multiple positions. Because you have injuries, it hinders what you can and can't do. Some offensive linemen can only play one position.
I know one who can't play any of them.
Okay, and what are your options?
Put Isaiah Wynn in. He's off IR. Put him in. Try something different. See if you find a little mixy mix. Just stop putting that guy out there. He sucks.
I have a question.
Sure.
Sometimes your best isn't good enough. So if they put an offensive lineman in there just to be a little different, but you know damn well he ain't as good as what you have in there.
But let me ask you something. Is he not as good, or do they keep trying to find a place for a pick that sucks? They've tried every position with this guy. He's not good at any of them. Gives no effort. He's on the floor at all times. The only thing that he does is badger people and poke people in the eyes. You took Zach Sealer away from us for 2 weeks. Don't think I don't know that was you, Liam. Everybody's covering for you. Boom. What if, just call me crazy, why don't we try the guy who was good last year? He was hurt this year. Why don't we put him out there? See if it just works better. What do you got to lose, dude? What are you going to do? Average 2 yards a carry?
Again.
No, seriously, Lear. What are the ramifications?
You're making it sound
What are the ramifications of it? They can't run the ball.
Okay, I understand that. So when was the right guard?
He was the left guard last year before he
left guard last year, right?
Yeah.
You want him to move him to right guard.
Yeah, baby, let's go.
You don't think that's no big deal? No,
he's a vet.
No, it doesn't. All right, dude.
They did it with Eichenberg.
I'm not arguing with you about this because you have no idea what you're talking about.
Just
right?
Have a guy who's a bum just need to go out there.
Isaiah Wynn is probably a better guard, a left guard.
Then put Robbie Jones over the right. Flip him on over.
That's a whole nother conversation.
Let's change it on up, baby.
I just finished explaining to you how every offensive lineman can't play every position.
Get Eichenberg.
There's only
off
a
the
couple
field.
of guys that you have on your team that you can move around like that.
Get him off.
Add all the injuries and stuff like that. You have what you have.
Get him off the field.
And put who? What if they know that the person they replace Eichenberg with is worse than Eichenberg?
They've been talking up this
You're
Eichenberg.
saying that from the
it's
outside.
The same, it's the same thing Eric Spoelstra does with Kevin Love. They get caught. They think it's going to work out. They think he's not going to be a Dolphin after this year. Move on.
Okay.
Been averaging a fart every carry.
Okay. It's a moot point.
You know he stinks, right, Leroy?
Yes, I was the first one that say hugs across America. That's this new.
So why are you defending this? Why can't we shake it up?
Listen,
how come nobody gets to lose?
I hate when people watch football and say, "Hey, let's get somebody else in there." You don't know if the other guy's better. They do.
At least the guy's got a resume.
Oh my goodness. So does Kevin.
I don't know why you pick on Eichenberg.
So does Kevin Love.
You want to know why I pick on Eichenberg?
Kevin Love's got a
you
resume.
bully him.
Kevin Love's got a resume.
And Kevin Love's old, and I said the exact that you're making my point for me.
No, I'm not.
Coaches get stubborn. Coaches get stubborn and thinking that they know a system better than they can actually provide production. That's exactly my point.
If that's the case, they would move Eichenberg.
It's not the case. I'm telling you the exact point is coaches get stubborn in thinking that a move is going to work out, or they're too afraid of the failure of another move when it could have.
You think
they'd rather be safe. Coaches do it all the time, dude.
Can I ask you a question?
Sure.
So what you're telling me right now is that a coach would rather be right and lose than be wrong and win.
I'm telling you, a coach would rather lessen the risk of known than the risk of the unknown, but it potentially working out for him.
You're assuming that it's the unknown. That's what I'm saying. Like, you think if they had any other option other than Liam Eichenberg, he would be in there?
Then why is he still on the team, dude? He sucked at 3 other positions. You've made the same argument for me every year.
Yeah.
He moves to a new position and sucks
Yes.
at that position.
Yes.
You've made the same argument about this guy.
You know what
And
he is? He is. You have 1 or 2 of these guys on your team. He is a guy that can play multiple positions on the offensive line.
And none of them well.
Didn't say he was good. Okay. But nobody else can. So you have to play him because you don't have any other options because everybody's banged up.
And also, Marcos, it's not comparable to Dru Smith
Oh,
at
it's
all.
the same, dude.
At all.
Absolutely
At
same,
all. It's
You
not.
bully him.
One guy has been a starter
You
and
bully
a
Dru
top
Smith.
high pick his entire career. The other guy is literally an end of the roster guy who is now flourishing with his chance. It couldn't be any more the opposite of Liam Eichenberg. You horse's ass.
Wow.
42nd overall isn't that high of a
It's
pick.
pretty high, dude. It's pretty high over 7 rounds.
Hey, so wow, he was a pick before me.
2nd round, Jesus.
He was
Zero,
picked
so
before
that
me.
was pretty high.
What
Yeah.
are we doing?
But again, it's hard. Like,
I'm just sick of them.
it's hard
Bully
to
him.
explain that, and I try to explain this to you a lot. That there's certain guys that make the team because they have the flexibility of playing multiple positions.
But he's
It
also,
might not necessarily be his best position. But
there is
one
no
of the
best
reasons
position.
why you see Eichenberg all over the line of scrimmage with all of the injuries that they've had in the last couple of years, Eichenberg is the one guy that can move around.
You know what his best position is
So
going to
he
be?
gets to play.
His best position is going to be when he's Coach Eichenberg. All right. When he's Coach Eichenberg for Notre Dame and he's coaching their O-line, he goes, "Don't worry, guys. I played every position. None of them well, but I'll teach you." I don't know why I made him sound like that. I think he's like from Indiana or something like that. But you guys get the point.
So my suggestion is, who would you like to have in there instead?
I just told you.
Who?
Put Isaiah Wynn on the team. Either put Robert Jones over at right or put Isaiah Wynn at right. Flip the guards. Get Eichenberg out of there.
You can't just
Get him out of there.
You can't just switch sides with offensive linemen.
Why not, dude?
Oh my goodness. Never mind. Let's move on. Like it's he says I have a Rolodex of empty excuses. Dude, every offensive
Is that
lineman
the only
can't-
position? that
every
can't-
offensive lineman can't play every position. Okay?
That's
So
a problem.
when you say offense, no, it's not a problem. It's a fact.
No, it's a
You can pull
problem.
whatever twist you want on it. So you guys say we have 10 offensive linemen. You want to just move them around. Everybody can't play, especially on the opposite side.
I just want
That's
to
not as easy as you're making it sound.
just want to take that bum and get him off the field. He stinks.
All right.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of us fitting
Okay,
a round
now-
peg
now,
into a square hole.
And you're willing to risk at the
What about-
the guy that's coming in might be worse.
Leroy, can I ask you a genuine question? Because I love you.
Sure.
How could it be worse? Is he going to give up more pressure?
Believe me when I tell you.
He was
It could
literally
be worse.
He was worse than a guy off the street last week.
Okay. Like this.
Carmen San Diego was better than him last week.
This is where we are.
Who the hell was that guy playing right tackle? I trust him more than Eichenberg. Kick him inside.
Do you
Carmen?
know that I'm
Who the
having
hell
a
is this?
conversation from experience, and you're having a conversation from wherever the hell you're having it from? It's not as easy as you think to be moving offensive linemen all over the place. You only have maybe 2 or 3 guys that can do that.
They moved him around. It really worked out.
I'm not saying it worked out. I'm saying, but that's what their options are. Like, just because, okay, guess what?
Mhm.
Here, I'll give you a perfect example. I'll give you a perfect example of this. Okay, when who's the left tackle for Baltimore? The Hall of Famer.
Ogden?
Jonathan Ogden.
Jonathan Ogden, when he first got into the league, he was a guard.
Mhm.
Right? Then he moved
So was Tunsil.
right? They were really good.
Mhm.
Really, really good. So you had to get them on the field. But they still played on the same side of the ball. Okay? You understand what I'm saying? He played left guard, then moved to left tackle. When you take somebody like Patrick Paul, I always said, oh, if he's good as everybody says, then he can probably play guard until
Armstead's knees fall off.
Until Armstead's out, right?
Mhm.
And then you could just move him to tackle. Clearly, he must not be that versatile because they've never tried him at any other position. Like, it happens. Every guy, no matter how good the offensive lineman is, it doesn't automatically mean that you can play a different position on the field. So now you got Patrick Paul who plays left tackle. He might be one of your top 5 best linemen. He really might be. His problem is he's backing up one of the best, if not the best. So that's a perfect example of why. Listen, if I take my 5 best linemen and 2 of them play the same position, ideally you would like to try to move them over so you can get them all on the field. But if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So just because Liam Eichenberg might not be one of your top 5 guys, and Patrick Paul might be, Patrick Paul can't play any of the positions that Liam Eichenberg plays. So Patrick Paul's on the bench, Liam Eichenberg's playing. It's not as easy. You say, oh, just move him to the right, move him to the left.
But I'm not saying that. Like, I'm talking about a veteran guard who's been in the league. Like, I'm not talking about a rookie, dude.
It still doesn't mean that you can move.
Okay, well, let's continue to average 2 yards a carry. It seems like it's working out swimmingly.
But why are you trivializing this and say, oh, just switch sides? It is not that easy. I keep telling you that.
Okay.
I don't know why you think
But
it's
you've made
no
the
big
same
deal.
but you've made the same argument with this player. You've made the same argument with me about obviously they know something because they keep putting him out there. They keep trying him at new positions.
And I'm
Some guys
telling
are
you
more
what
versatile.
it is.
And it's not worked out, not at one of them.
I'm telling you what it is. He is one of maybe 1 or 2 guys that can play multiple positions on the offensive line. So guess what? When somebody gets hurt, Liam Eichenberg, that's who they go to.
Okay, well, when does he get to suffer consequences of sucking at his job?
When they have another option.
Okay. Take a break. Back with more of this. Welcome back. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM.
You know who this is, Tobin?
About to sneeze.
You know who this is, Tobin?
No.
This is a staple of a black barbecue. Frankie Beverly and Mays running away.
How about that?
I was gonna say mac and cheese, but yes, also Frankie Beverly and Mays. Gotta have some good mac.
Oh man, I know we played it before, but I always forget. You always have to remind me.
Yeah.
Let's get to headlines brought to you by Doral Hyundai. At Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory, like the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. It is officially official. The Dolphins have tweeted out. I'm sure the responses to this are going to be great.
Yeah.
Miami versus Cleveland has an adjusted start of time at 4:05 on the NFL on CBS, which Leroy's thrilled about it because now he gets to go home early.
Now I can at least get 5 hours of sleep. Well, no, I get more than that because I'll probably get back to the hotel about 9 or 10, take a shower, pack all my stuff, get up at 3.
Jeez.
You want to hear some of the responses to this?
What?
2 years ago, we were getting flexed into prime time.
Oh, man.
One guy just says, flexed for the Falcons. Oof.
Oh, really?
That guy included a lot of laughing.
Oof, a lot of laughing.
Really, though, you're flex for the Commanders, not the Falcons.
They're still playing for a division.
Yep, still playing for the division.
Yeah.
One guy just goes, absolutely pathetic.
Really? So let me get this straight.
What?
Now we're to the point of the season where we're complaining about what time the game is played?
Oh, it's a big dishonor to get flexed out. It's one of the great dishonors in football. If you're flexed out of prime time.
Hey, buddy.
What?
I played in Cleveland.
So?
Stop.
So what?
I know what flexing is.
Another guy just goes, effing losers, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, laughing emoji, clown emoji, pointing emoji.
I also, to be clear, I also was on a team that got flexed in every late game.
Vikings.
Yeah.
Thank God couldn't handle watching y'all crumble in primetime again. Flexed out because you're a garbage team. Congrats. Flexed out because y'all so ass.
Hey, the game is still I don't understand. The game is still going to be played. Why are we complaining about when the game is played? Right?
I wonder what the Instagram comments are like.
Oh God, probably worse.
Probably much worse than Marcus's responses.
Jeez, getting flexed out is like a pimp telling somebody to take the day off. Not really.
Yeah.
It would be the equivalent to working at a strip club and going from working at night to being that lunch one. Go to that lunch schedule. Yeah.
Tuesday, honey.
Oh yeah. You don't work on the weekend. You work Mondays and Tuesdays.
Except for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Christmas party at Cheetah.
One guy says something pretty positive.
What?
I'll be there in person. I'll be sad, yes, but I'll be there because I care.
I'm gonna be there.
It was Leroy, actually.
I'm gonna be there.
That was Leroy who wrote that.
I'm gonna be there. Yeah. I don't know how the hell how to even look at this. You know what I'm saying? Like Browns or Dolphins, I'm gonna have I'm get choked out.
Basically, yeah.
Browns or Dolphins, I'm gonna have to have a miserable conversation on Monday.
Yeah, probably. Probably. But you guys have been planning for a miserable. I mean, you guys still, I saw another report. You guys are bringing everybody back, and I can't believe that. That's crazy.
Well, who are they going to get rid of?
I mean, just move on from Deshaun Watson, dude. Just move on.
Look, listen.
On.
I understand all of this, and it's very easy to spend other people's money and just deal with it and say, oh, you have plenty of money, just eat it. But everybody don't think like that. They trying to squeeze that turnip for every little piece of juice they could get.
That turnip is just giving you turnovers.
No, that's just the current turnip, not the
Both
old
of them.
Both of them.
At least one of them will sling it down the field every now and then.
Well, that's Jameis.
The other guy, I don't know. He just sucks. He's lost it.
I know, man.
It's-
I know. Like, yeah.
Going on 5 years now. What did he injure this year?
He had
His pride.
Besides that, what was his actual injury?
No, I don't even remember.
Who could remember?
His stock.
He just left in shame.
Like you can't injure your stock when you're already guaranteed 230. Who cares about your stock?
You got away with your stock.
He's
He's the guy who sold he sold like frog coin before like anybody realized it was a scam. That's the guy who got rich on Hawk Tua coin.
Yeah, and then dumped everything.
Oh, his Achilles.
Yeah, he ruptured his right Achilles in a non-contact.
Ruptured his Achilles?
Yep.
That's what he's coming back from?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. Move
Yeah,
on.
I will. Listen, hey, Luis, I will say this, right? Say the Browns lead the NFL in misery, and I can agree with that. But just imagine having to be on a show every day in Miami and hear what you guys complain about.
Oh, we're not more miserable than Jay Crawford. Stop.
No, I'm not. No.
You hate
What I'm
Jay
doing is I'm putting things in perspective. What they are complaining about, right? They'd be happy with your situation.
He went under Achilles surgery October 25th. Oh, he's not beating science. He doesn't strike me as the kind of guy who's attacking his rehab. Nope. Fat cat.
Probably a lot of massages though.
Oh man. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Hey, if you guys want to go to Heat and Nets right now, I got a 4-pack to give away. 305-567-0560. Hopefully you won't see them blow an 8-point lead in overtime.
Oh, but they're almost back.
They are almost back. They'll be back on Friday. They will be back on Friday against the Thunder. But Heat Nets is Monday the 23rd. You think Jimmy Butler will flirt with them?
Nah, no.
That's all a ruse.
Doesn't want to go to Brooklyn. Well, we'll see. If his hair is all black, you never know.
The Heat host the Nets on Monday, December 23rd. If you guys want to win a 4-pack, caller 6 right now to 305-567-0560. Caller 6 to 305-567-0560 will win that 4-pack of tickets to Heat and Nets. Back with more after this. All right, welcome back, everybody.
Because girls as players too.
Indeed.
That's the song. And I can only hear like the first part of it because it doesn't play.
Well, we take it off. Yeah, we don't want to get. We try not to get flagged. We're trying. Don't always succeed, but we're trying.
Could it also be, what is it, Curtis Blow? That's sampled from?
Yeah,
yes.
It's like a jungle sometimes. It makes me wonder.
How I keep them going under.
15 minutes of
Wait a
game
minute.
time.
Whoa. How the hell you said yeah like you knew?
Curtis Blow. Yeah, I didn't know. I've heard that song before. I didn't know the lyrics like Frogman did, but I've heard it before.
Wait, bro.
That's a famous song, you know.
This guy can know Teddy Swims, but I can't know a couple of Curtis Blow songs.
Very true. Very true.
Curtis Blow is before you were born.
Okay, dude. Yeah, there's a little thing called the internet.
So are the Beatles.
Marcos was born way after Tobin.
I know, but he's in the music.
Way after Tobin.
And not music that you go sit on grass with a pink drink with a hat on it.
Had a great time. Don't talk about Miranda like that.
A pinkety drinkety.
Dozy Wozies. You guys missed it. We had David Benavidez in the studio yesterday. He was awesome. We're gonna bring that to you guys coming up here in a few. He's there's a lot of shenanigans going on. I'm kind of jealous I didn't go to this thing, but it was on during our show. But this press conference I got going on right now, Leroy, heated.
Really?
There's already been a brouhaha, and now there's a lot of yelling. Which
the crazy thing about it was he didn't sound like he wasn't like that. He kept it all together.
he did here.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was
He was also very tired, though.
He was.
Yes.
He was doing
He had
media
a
all
long
day.
day.
We were his last start, but he was still great. God, I put a clip of it on TikTok. These Canelo fans hate him. Jeez.
Really?
Oh my God, they're saying the meanest stuff to him. I'm like, I would never say this to somebody,
especially a boxer. Like, what
except if you were a terrible left guard, right guard for the Miami Dolphins.
I was getting ready to say we just 20 minutes ago.
50 minutes of Game Day Uncensored, always brought to you by your Southern Lexus dealers. The Lexus December to Remember sales event is why you stay on the nice list. Find yours and get offers on select models, but only for a limited time now through January 2nd. Make it a December to remember. And by the by, for those Cup fans out there, the NBA Cup final is tonight as well. The Bucks take on the Thunder at 8:30.
Is that tonight?
Yeah.
The final? Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, the semifinal was Saturday. I'm a week. Yeah.
The Dolphins.
Who you got?
Is Dame playing tonight? Because I thought he was questionable. I thought he had a calf injury. Because Bucks are kind of rolling right now, but I mean Thunder.
Yeah, they are.
I think I'll take the Bucks to cover, but I think OKC wins.
Really?
Bucks are good to go.
Dame's good to go.
Yes, Bucks are
Who's
good to go.
your favorite?
Huh?
Is OKC favorite or
By 5.5.
5.5?
Mm-hmm.
You give me Dame and the Greek Freak.
Yep.
And 5.5 points.
I mean, OKC is like, what are they? 8? They're like 8-1 over their last 9.
And
just letting you know, dude.
And when was the last time the Bucks lost?
They lost a couple games ago. They lost a couple games back. When did they lose?
Last Bucks loss was against the Celtics on December 6th. Prior to that, they lost the
4 in a
game.
row?
3 in a row for them. Because the game before that, they also lost against the Hawks. So,
all right.
Prior to that, they did go on a bit of a streak. Prior to those 2 losses I just mentioned, they won 7 in a row. So they won 7, lost 2, won 4. You know, whatever though. They don't convince me, dude.
Doc, what has it gotten the team turned around?
I got to tell you something just as simple as this. We've been making shots. We've been doing it together. And now I got Giannis and Dame on the same page. It's incredible. There's 2 superstars. They're scoring. They're doing their thing. And it's beautiful right now in Milwaukee. Got to tell you, though, that OKC team,
good.
They're good.
Good.
And then, I mean, that Western Conference is a juggernaut. I don't know as much about
So if I go Heat, I go Bucks, I go New York, I go Cavs. Who am I missing?
Celtics.
Celtics, right? And I mean, you can't just dismiss Orlando, but I am right now because they're not healthy.
They'll get healthy. But they were, I mean, listen, they were great without
Right.
Paolo too. So
Exactly. So
I don't know what when you heard of that, the two guys lose the same injury. That's crazy.
right.
Obliques?
So
Fire that trainer.
So can the West go that deep?
West goes OKC. Memphis is the 2 right now, 18-9. Houston is 17-9. So you got
A lot of
Dallas.
young teams. The Western Conference has been flip flopped.
Yeah. Like Denver, Phoenix. They're all around
I
14
didn't even
and
count
10.
Phoenix, but Denver, Dallas. We haven't even talked about
Minnesota's taking a step back this year.
we haven't even talked about Golden State.
Nope. That's why they're trying to get Jimmy.
Right. So, like, man, it's usually like the Eastern Conference has been what, 2 or 3 teams tops the last few years.
Well, last year it was just one team.
One team, right?
This year Cleveland looks like they've beefed up, but I don't believe in them.
You don't believe in Cleveland?
Nah, he got them.
I mean, what are they? 20-5, 21-4,
23-4.
23-4, and you don't believe. When do the games matter?
It does matter. That's why I'm saying it
No,
matters.
when does 23-4 matter?
It does matter, but the Heat beat them, so that's why it matters.
Okay, but I'm saying, when does a 23-4 record matter? Because you say you don't have any faith in them. Okay, average teams don't go 23-4.
I would agree with that.
So when, like, I don't understand. The Celtics won a championship last year. They weren't 23-4.
They were not, but right now they're 21-5.
Still not 23-4. Playing the same damn teams.
Hey, dude, you don't have to impress Jay Crawford for me, okay?
I'm just saying you are the one that dismissed the Cavaliers.
I didn't dismiss them. He just beat them. I'm not afraid of them.
Yes, you did.
I didn't dismiss them.
I'm just saying, according to Tobin rules, you dismiss a team that only has 4 losses all year.
You dismissed the Heat for a 4-game win streak. You dismiss,
Because
I dismiss.
That put them right around 500.
Just had to get back in line, baby. You know, we're right on track. We may be back.
Bell doesn't dismiss you. I do.
David Benavidez, he joins us next. We're joined in studio by one of the best boxers on the planet, the monster, David Benavidez, is joining us here. David, thanks for the time, man. Good to talk to you again.
Yeah, thank you guys for inviting me, and I really appreciate it.
Well, it's good. It's finally, you've been training down in Miami for what, like a year and a half now, 2 years? How long have you been down here?
It's been, it's almost about to be a year in February. I moved down here. I bought a place out here. I still have my place in Seattle, but, because of the cold and the weather over there, I had to give myself something, that there's more summer and so more sunlight. So I came over here. It's a beautiful city, and, I love it here.
It's always wet there.
Yeah, always.
Like it's always if you get the sun, everybody celebrates. But normally it's gloomy, cloudy, rainy. I remember we used to go play Seattle. It was open.
Yeah.
So it was just miserable.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city, but it's just there's only 2 months out the summer where the sun really comes out every day, and after that it's just gloominess and dark and wet and rain.
We were just talking before we got on the air about pro athletes trying to box. Have you seen anybody, any pro athlete that has come across your parts that's kind of decent, like that's not a boxer but is getting in the gym? You're like, yeah, he's kind of decent.
Yeah,
like,
we actually have one of my bros. I don't know exactly what his name is, but he trains at Boxer. What's his name? The football player. He's an NFL player, but he's actually pretty good. He just fought on the Boxer card on 11/11 not too long ago, but he's good. He was an NFL player, but as you know, as far from anybody else, that's really kind of the only other professional athlete that I've seen that's actually pretty good in boxing. But there's not really that much in the sport of boxing.
You're fighting David Morrell coming up on February 1st, pay-per-view, Las Vegas. Hell of a fight, man. Listen, this is not you're not taking an easy one here, which is not your style. You're always usually taking the hardest matchups. What made you get to this matchup against David?
So the way this fight was set up is, I've gotten to a point in my career. I've been professional 11 years now, you know what I mean? And I've won 4 different belts. And my plan was I was the number 1 contender at super middleweight to fight for all the belts against Canelo Alvarez. That didn't happen. So I went up to light heavyweight. I won a belt, this belt that I have right here, the interim title. And I was just looking for the best fight I could possibly make for myself, because at the end of the day, I have something to prove, not only to the world, but to myself, that I am the best in the world. And the only other person that was there, besides Bivol and Beterbiev, but is David Morrell. So that was the best fight that I seen. Not the easiest fight. It's probably the toughest fight besides Beterbiev and Bivol, but I said, hey, I believe in my skills. I know that I'm the best in the world, and I want to prove myself on the big stage to all my people. And this fight, we made the fight happen. T-Mobile Arena, February 1st, and it's going to be a great night of boxing.
You guys got after that press conference. It seemed like there was not a lot of love lost already between you guys. Is that right off the bat? Was there something beforehand? Because it seemed pretty vicious between you guys when it came to the war words early on.
Well, because the only reason that happened is because at the end of the day, this is a great fighter, and he's trying to go in there and knock me out. You know what I mean? So he had a couple words for me saying that I was running from him, this and that, and I kind of had to test his temperature and let him know that I'm gonna be here all night, and I'm not gonna be running from nobody. And then by the time this fight is finished, he's gonna know who the best fighter, who the best David is, and that's kind of what I showed him. That was, I was just trying to check his temperature real quick.
How is it, because like the thing over the last few years is there's been a lot of fights that should have been made. You are willing to do that. You have the belt. You're willing to go ahead and put yourself out there and fight who's available. Does it bother you that there's some guys that pick and choose and don't want to test whether they're the best or not? They just they don't want to have these big fights.
To be honest with you, the only thing that bothers me is that the person that was doing that is Canelo, and he's, it's not even about him. I don't care what he does, but he was kind of blocking my chance to achieve greatness, going up against the 4 titles. I know there's a lot of other people in boxing that do that, but it's not really my business. But that's the one I did have a problem with, Canelo Alvarez, and I think now, since Floyd Mayweather, his era came, I think everybody's now is more about protecting their O. And, if the money isn't right, they're not going to take the chance.
I got you.
But for me, I feel like if you want to get the money right, you got to go through the hardest fights. You got to show the people what you're really made of. And this is what I'm doing with this fight. Every fight that I've taken, they've been hard competitive fights, where it looks like it's 50-50. But I go in there and I do my thing and I show the people why I'm the best in the world.
And the thing that was crazy, but I remember talking to you about this with Vegas, because you didn't want to wait around. You want to make your own path. But, there's probably 2 fights that people really want to see Canelo fight. It's either against you or it's against Terrence Crawford. And it's like he comes out, it's like, all right, it's no disrespect to Edgar Berlanga, who's a fine fighter, but I think as the fans know, like we know who we want to see. So like when that was the fight made, you're like, did you like eye roll at it? Like were you like, this is really where it's going?
Well, you know what I mean. I wouldn't have had a problem with that fight if Edgar Berlanga would have went out there and really put everything out on the line. He didn't do anything.
Right.
It was just defense the whole fight, not trying to get knocked out. So it's like when you get an opportunity like that, like come on, bro, like
go after it, get it.
Everybody's paying high amounts, like $100, $90 for this pay-per-view for you to not even give everything you got in there. You know what I mean? So that's what I feel like. That's why Canelo has been avoiding me, because he knows I'm not, I'm going in there, I'm putting everything in that ring. I'm not leaving nothing to chance. And I'm putting, I'm working my ass off, and I know I have 100% confidence in myself. And I know whoever I get in the ring with, I'm going to end up winning. You know what I mean? So the people that Canelo is picking, we all know they're not the best. There's only one guy that everybody wants to see Canelo fight, and that's me. And, it's kind of unfortunate that that's not happening. But, there's still other great fighters. I always told people that what happens when you don't get a Canelo fight or you get the Canelo fight? Wait, is your career over? Right. You know what I mean? You still have to make your own path. You still have to, show the people why you were great. And I feel like my career, if I never get the Canelo fight, it's fine with me. My destiny is chasing greatness.
This fight against Morrell, he's a guy who has finished a lot of fights early. You're a guy, like you do a lot of your finishing late. Like you're a storm late in fights. How do you feel like that's going to play into your advantage? Because I don't feel like he's been in there with anybody who can bring it that long through a fight like you.
That's the difference between me and him. He's fought against people that are not really good. That's why he finishes them early. I fought with people that are experienced, veterans in the ring, and I finish them late. So that it's going to be, my experience versus his him just trying to go in there, trying to score a quick knockout or whatever it is that his game plan is. I don't really know what he's going to try to do. But I'm 100% focused, and I know that this fight is not going to be easy. It's probably going to end in the later rounds. So my plan is to go in there and drown them in the deep waters.
And then, do you have your eye on? Beterbiev and Bivol are going to rematch.
Yeah.
First of all, what did you think of the first fight? Because a lot of people thought Beterbiev got the generous rub there, keeping his belt. So what did you think of the first fight? Did you think Bivol won?
I absolutely think Bivol won. I think, as for combination wise and ring generalship, Bivol had it. I think maybe Beterbiev stole some of the later rounds, but I think it was clear victory on my part from Bivol. So I'm thinking he's going to win again, to be honest with you. I feel like if he goes in there, he looks a little bit, he does the same game plan. I think he might take the victory this time, because I thought he took it for sure the first time.
I mean, that would be a hell of a feather in your cap, though, David. Like, if you got that matchup down the road, that's the latest Canelo loss that everybody looks at, and they're like, man, Bivol pieced him up. If you were to go in there and beat Bivol, stop him, whatever that is, take the belt from him and become undisputed, that's kind of like your checkmate move.
Yeah, and I would definitely beat Bivol. I used to spar him back then, and we had some amazing spar sessions, but I always got the better of him. And the last time I sparred him, I was 21, 22 years old. Now I'm more experienced. I turned 28 tomorrow, so I'm coming into my prime. And, I'm just a more focused and more hungrier fighter than I was when I was 22. So I know this David Benavidez will walk through Dimitri Bivol.
How, so are there any things for this fight? Are you training differently? Like, this is another run at 175. You won the belt in June. How did you like, first of all, just going up to 175 after starving yourself to 168 all those years?
Yeah, so my performance, the way I rate my performance, a lot of people didn't know, but I had a lot of injuries going into this fight. 7 weeks left to the fight. I had torn a ligament. No, tendon. Yeah, it was a ligament or a tendon. It was a pretty severe injury. They said I needed 7 weeks to recover from that. I'm like, well, I don't got that. So I'm gonna go ahead and use I'm gonna go ahead and just use my left hand. Hopefully by the time the fight gets there, this one's gonna be recovered. So I'm throwing jab, for like 2 weeks. I think there's 5 weeks left to the fight. I throw an uppercut and I hit the guy in the top of his head right here. So I actually fractured that. I couldn't even use that either. That hurt a lot. So then I'm like, well, I'm not going to cancel the fight anyway, so I'm going to just give it give it some time to heal up. 2 weeks later, I'm sparring in there again, and in the 12th round, it was probably the only 12-round sparring session I did with three different people. In the last round, I go back to the corner, and I get cut in my eye. I get 13 stitches. Oof. So there, I was like, man, I was really torn up. I'm like, man, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Because I have this injury, I have a cut. And then, but because the fans mean so much to me, I knew this was a big deal to the people of boxing and to the people of PBC. Gervonta Davis,
There's a monster card.
headline, and then I'm co-main event. You know, we really don't get big cards like that on the PBC side. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just go in there, and I'm gonna pray for the best. I'm gonna pray that my hands are healthy. Everything. The stamina is there. Everything is there. So I'm gonna just go on with the fight. And I kid you not, in the dressing room, I'm doing mitts. I feel the hand swelling up. I feel this hurt. So I'm already kind of nervous. But I went in there, man. I did a great job. I think I won eight or nine rounds against a veteran. He was a silver medalist in the Olympics, and he was a unified champion too in light heavyweight.
He has only lost besides you. It's better be.
Yeah, it's a better be. So he's a great fighter. You know what I mean? So I learned a lot from that fight. I learned that I have so much heart. You know what I mean? And nothing's going to stop me. But now with this fight, it's completely different because I don't have no injuries. You know what I mean? My hands are 100% healed, and I feel like with this fight, I'm definitely going to be able to put, put some weight on my punches. And I'm not. When you have two injured hands, you can't really punch at 100%. So now this one, I'm 100%. I feel great. I feel confident, and I can't wait to go in there and perform for the fans.
Having to wait 6 months too to get back after it, that's got to be such as a pro athlete. I tell Leroy's a week you got to wait in a football game. That's crazy. But having to wait that many times to get back in there and feel all right, now I feel like I'm at peak. Is that a hard thing mentally for you?
Yeah, kind of, because when I had to take 3 months off for my hands.
That's what I'm saying. It probably helped you because you can say, okay, I got through that. Let's sit back and heal.
Yeah.
Let's heal before we get back into it. So you said you the 3 months.
But the type of person I am, I only like taking a couple weeks off after my fight, and then I go back into the gym. So when I went back into the gym, I'm like, man, the hand should be good. Let me just
you did it again.
Hit that right hand. I'm like, I gotta go check it up. And they told me you can't do nothing for 3 months. He's all, if you want to keep having injuries and you keep training, he's all, you can't do nothing for 3 months. So I was running and stuff. I still stayed in the gym, but now I'm 100% healed up, and I'm very excited, very happy. My father, Jose Benavidez, my whole team Benavidez. I'm training with my strength and conditioning trainer, Memo Heredia, again. So, man, I'm very excited.
Is there something about David Morrell? What is the number one thing you guys are worried about that he brings to the table?
I ain't worried about nothing. But as of me being smart, and I got to use all my skills. I got to use my head movement. I got to use my distance. I got to use my cutting the distance. I got to use the ring generalship, body shots. I got to use everything. Basically, I gotta pull all my tools out of the tool bag and use them all that night. But David Morrell, I said, I never took nothing away from him. He looks like he has he has a lot of KO percentage. He has power. He has speed. But I feel like what I have in there, I have so much experience. I've been boxing since I was 2 years old, so I have 26 years boxing. You know what I mean? And then I've sparred the best since I was a little kid, and I fought great fighters. So I've been at this level, a couple more times than he has. So I'm going to use all that to my advantage come February 1st.
Your brother boxer. One of this with your dad here. How many fights do you have to break up between you and your brothers? How often does this happen? Is this happening from the time you guys are in the sandbox, immediately?
So my brother back then, I never tried to fight him because he would always beat me up. But then once we got to 14, 15, I started sparring him, and then we started having that little rivalry. But as of tough love, we never had tough love. I've always respected my brother a lot. That's the only reason why I boxed, because I wanted to be like my brother. So as of me fighting him all the time, there was no animosity like that. It was just real mutual respect from both.
Challenge.
Yeah,
I get to the challenge.
Yeah.
Come on, old dude, got you. I got you now.
Yeah.
He can't mess with you now. Now you're like, "Bruh."
There's a big matchup coming this week. Tyson Fury, Usyk. What do you think happens in the rematch?
To be honest with you, I think if Tyson Fury remains focused, I don't think he wins. But I think Usyk still beats him. I think it's going to be a more competitive fight. I think the only reason why Usyk, I'm sorry. Usyk, he has to just keep doing his game plan, boxing, cutting the angles, and, looking for that overhand left. I think if Tyson Fury stays more disciplined and doesn't fool around, it might be a closer fight, but I still got Usyk 100%.
What makes him so good, man? Because he's in there with a bunch of dudes bigger than him, he's so he doesn't seem like he gets rattled by anything. When you watch him as a fellow champion, what makes Usyk so damn good?
The number one thing that makes Usyk the best fighter in the world, in my opinion, is his heart. he's in there with giant, bro. Usyk is not even that much bigger than me. He's like
Right.
this much bigger than me. He's not buff. He's not none of that. But his movement, his skill, his IQ, you know what I
Right.
mean? That just sets him apart for some, and his experience. You know, I
Right.
think he has like 2 gold medals or something like that. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And he's fought the best. He's fought heavy hitters. He's fought everything. So his experience and his IQ and his heart just sets him apart from everybody.
If Canelo does end up fighting Terrence Crawford, there's some rumblings about that. Do you feel like that's an easy fight for Canelo? Do you feel like Terrence Crawford wins that fight? Like, what do you make of that if that does go down?
To be honest with you, it's like one of those, like, I wouldn't be surprised if, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if Terrence Crawford gives him a great fight, and I wouldn't be surprised if Canelo beats him easy. You know what I mean? Because Terrence Crawford is a great fighter, but he's coming up from, well, his last fight was at 154, and it was a super tough fight.
Yeah.
So imagine he's going up 2 more weight classes.
168.
Yeah, 168. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's weight classes for a reason, but I mean, Terrence Crawford, he's a great fighter, so he could definitely make it a great fight. But like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if it's not a hard fight for Canelo.
So you mentioned you think Morrell, it ends, and like you envision like after 6th round, you think you're going to wilt him? Like, is that what is in your mind, or like how do you this fight plays out in your mind against David Morrell? He's got nothing for you. Like, what do you think? When do you beat him?
To be honest with you, the way I think of this fight in my mind, I think of it that I gotta, establish my game plan and stay consistent in my game plan. I don't, in no way in this, no time in this fight, I think it's gonna be an easy fight. But if I establish my game plan, and do the stuff that I know I could do, I will make it easy. You know what I mean? But I gotta remain focused in there. I can't mess around. I gotta do everything I know how to do, and just follow the game plan and follow my dad's instructions. And that's always worked for me, and it's always made the fights that much easier. But I gotta stay 100% focused the whole fight.
David Benavidez, go buy his fight against David Morrell in Vegas, February 1st, live on pay-per-view. Always appreciate the time, man. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks,
guys.
man. Appreciate
All right,
it.
we'll take a